What is that?
This is a Dr. Pepper cherry, 0 sugar.
Huh. That's interesting.
It's delicious.
Yeah, is it as good as the Dr. Pepper cream?
No.
0 sugar?
Mm-mm.
That's the best.
No,
I don't know. I might have the best right here.
That Verner's is really good. No, this, I went to the store. See, that's what happens. That's great, Pod. You blew the levels right there.
Hey.
Because you ain't got the inhalability that you need.
Not. It's getting back, but I'm not there fully yet.
But the Dr. Pepper cherry 0 sugar, they were Jeebus.
Sorry, man.
They were like buy 3 on sale kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So I went with the cream and this and a regular ginger ale. Picked up the Verner's on the side, on the arm there. Not on the arm. That means I stole it. On the side.
Definitely means you stole it. So the homies Tim and Marcus, Final Wrestling Place, they had a discussion about ginger ale.
Yeah,
Verner's, boys.
Verner's is
and
good.
I let you know,
it's delicious.
Find you some Verner's.
Yes,
I had it. I think it was it this year, maybe last year at Mahoning.
It was last year.
Changed my fucking life.
Sure did.
It's not like a ginger ale. They don't claim to be a ginger ale.
Ginger soda.
It's the original ginger soda.
Yes, it's not. It doesn't have the bite of some ginger ales, but it is gingery.
It is fucking delightful.
It is wonderful.
It tastes wonderful.
Yeah.
It might be my favorite soda ever.
All right.
God, it's so
Okay.
good.
Welcome
to We Need Soda.
Yeah, welcome to WeNeedWrestling, everybody. That was a minute long on Sodies. I'm DJ. I'm here with Brett.
Hello.
First time sitting across the table in a couple of weeks.
This is like 3 weeks, I think.
Right? The life got in the way. You can hear his wonderful...
My life is getting back.
Brett is going to be doing his Chris Decker impression for some of this show.
I'm sorry.
I don't think Decker listens to this, so what does it matter?
Deal with it. I'm fucking coughing.
That's right. But we're back. Christmas was ruined. Christmas was canceled.
It was ruined.
But we're here. We're all good. We're ready to talk our big year-end show that we're not going to miss.
Greetings and salutations, all.
A couple of weeks ago, Adam on At Odds, Joe and Adam pondered doing a year-end show, and Adam was like, no, we're not cowards. We do all original stuff every week. We don't whatever. No recap for us. And I was wanting to be like, Adam, we'll handle the recap, pal.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Listen,
we got it.
Final Wrestling Place had best and worst year ever.
There you go.
We got our end of the year shindig.
Right.
Let's party.
But before we get into the things we're going to talk and rank and list, and I'm certain copy each other throughout.
We'll see about that.
I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna guess we have the same number one wrestler at least. But
probably
yeah. But
CM Punk.
Yes,
All
number
right.
one.
All right.
Let's talk about wrestling this week. I'm going to start this off really quickly. There was a Ric Flair documentary that came out called Woo Making the Nature Boy or something, or Becoming the Nature Boy.
I didn't watch it. Was it only like one part, or isn't it a bunch of parts coming out, or is it the full thing?
Oh no, they covered the whole thing. By the whole thing, I mean they skip over some stuff.
Like where do they start from? Like Ramblin' Ricky Rhodes?
They start from him growing up, being adopted. They talk about his birth name.
Is it episodic format?
No, it's one
How
like
long is
2 hour thing, maybe hour and a half.
Wow.
Yeah,
I feel like you can't cover.
And it
much.
ends with they skip a lot, and then it ends with the coma and the that sort of stuff. The awakenedness. Post coma. They don't talk about the last match, but they talk about him training for it.
Oh, okay.
So
probably wrapped up before it happened.
Yeah.
Then.
So I watched this thing. I don't know why. I was probably inebriated.
Good reason.
And so it does. You don't learn anything new, right? It's a Peacock thing. It's WWE made it. It's very clearly sort of
is it a fluff piece?
Ric Flair's not a bad guy, right? Everybody.
Okay.
So you get the beginning thing about he says his birth name, which is like Fred something. And talks about the adoption and his parents and his training with Vern and how he wanted to be Ramblin' Ricky Rhodes, and Vern tells him that's fucking stupid and that Ric Flair is a cool name, so why would you want to change it? They cover the stuff with what the hell was his youngest kid, Reed. They cover the Reed stuff. Lots of little blurbs of people talking about him and how great he is.
That's sad.
The little piece on the 80s talks about all his feuds and skips over the Terry Funk one, which is upsetting.
Really?
They just mentioned Dusty and Steamboat. I get it.
I don't. Fuck that.
And then they talk a lot about Spartacus and sort of the haircut and the leave, the Real World's champion, and all that stuff. And he buries Bischoff, and a lot of people seem to think it's kayfabe, that they don't like each other.
Wasn't he burying Bischoff on his show
He
recently?
was. And he buries Bischoff here and, says, like, a lot of the same stuff you've heard him say, but, like, Bischoff cost me all this money and this and that. And,
Abuse
like,
of power.
You're
no good son of a bitch.
Fire me, I'm already fired. And then, like, he chains himself to the rope, and he says if he cut the camera, he's going to be naked, but no.
Oh, yeah.
He just talks about that and, like, how, like, Bischoff thinks he ran everything, but really it was him and Nash and, the Horsemen and all these guys who were making WCW watchable. Bischoff doesn't know shit. And then the kids and the showing him, like, skipping a show to go to see re-wrestle.
It was Reed's wrestling meet, yep.
And
that's what led to the abuse of power.
Right. And they talk about Charlotte and sort of her taking up that mantle. And they talk to all his kids, not David. But they talk to Megan a lot.
Hi, Megan.
And, Wendy, and they talk about his marriages and a lot of that sort of stuff and how hard the road was and how, his sort of, how he wrestled in a shirt for the last WCW thing. But, they talk about the plane incident. And by the plane incident, I mean the only plane incident, the one where it crashed and he broke his back. No other plane incident. As far as this documentary is concerned, Ric Flair has never even been on another airplane.
That was the last time he flew.
The last time he flew, ever.
Oh.
So that's a thing. And, yeah. It's a fluff piece. You learn basically nothing new. I didn't know I didn't know he knew his real name, like his birth name. So he says that right in the beginning. And, like, it's Flair. Like, they intercut all the clips of everybody throughout the years saying how great he is. And, he's this and that, the other thing, and talking about his promos. And they show clips of all the best stuff and, all that sort of stuff. And, of course, clips of him doing Hindu squats and,
naturally
everything you've heard about Ric Flair before. It's nothing new if you've watched any of the DVDs they used to put out or read his book or anything that anybody has ever talked about Ric Flair, except for the Dark Side of the Ring that, like, talks about the shitty stuff. Yeah. This completely glossed. Other than the fact that he's, like, a bad husband and, like, an absent father for his first two kids.
Oh yeah.
They, like, covered that, but, like, that's pretty much it. But it's Flair, I don't want to say I hated it, but it's definitely like people being canceled isn't fucking real because Peacock, fucking NBC or who does it, Peacock just made a feature-length documentary on Ric Flair and just glossed over the fact that he allegedly sexually assaulted multiple women.
I'd say, like, it's wild that they didn't address it, but at the same time, it's not.
Well, and I wasn't really expecting them to. I wanted to see how hard they were going to ignore it, and it was just not even a fucking thing, Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, so, it's what it is, I guess. It's as puff piece gloss over as you can. That's a long ass career to cover in, like, under 2 hours.
Yeah, I feel like that has to be minimum 4 hours. Yeah. I mean that too. That's a minimum 4 hours piece.
And they talk about the illness and
him being a fucking alcoholic.
Right. And he's drinking again. Like, I mean, he didn't actually not actually quit.
No, he's still drinking.
So,
yeah,
whatever that happens to fucking be. But, he just thinks he's some sort of, like, miracle, and it's Flair, and maybe it's mostly gimmick, or maybe he believes it now, probably for a long time, but, like, he feels he's untouchable.
Sure.
And feels that he may not say that he's the best wrestler, like, he likes to deflect and say it's Shawn or whatever.
Yeah.
But you can just tell when he talks about himself that he thinks everybody else fucking sucks.
Well, it's always been Flair.
Yeah, so I think it's a gimmick that eventually becomes, in his brain, the true thing.
Well, look at all the money he spent over the years on actual Rolexes and alligator shoes and the suits,
right?
And,
and they talk about all of that.
Yeah, he lived it.
And about the robes and all that kind of shit. It's just the typical Ric Flair kind of thing.
They address like his big influence in like hip hop and stuff like that.
Briefly, they talk about how there's a couple hip hop songs about him, and they show him at a Niners game, hyping up the team.
Yeah.
And like people doing the strut and the woo, and how that transcended wrestling. And I get it. You can't deny Ric Flair's power and influence, but you can also acknowledge that he's a piece of shit.
Sure.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think people tend to jump at the chance to remind Jake Roberts of what happened in his life. But people take every opportunity to tell Ric Flair that it's okay, that he has been great the whole time.
Yeah.
And, and not that Jake's as good as Rick. If I had if somebody gunned to my head, who do you want to have to chaperone a night out in 2022 at a restaurant? I'm picking Jake.
Yeah.
Flair would pick up the tab, but like I'd
Very
rather
true.
talk to Jake. But people like to. Ric Flair gets a lot of shit ignored because he's as great as he was.
Yeah.
And a lot of wrestlers who deserve better don't. Or not even that they deserve to get it ignored, but like they don't need it to be brought up every time. Especially Jake, who is seemingly recovered for the most part and is walking a better path and has is doing conventions with Cheryl Roberts, like doing a lot of crazy cool things. Like he doesn't deserve that to be thrown in his face every chance he get.
Sure.
In the same regard and Ric Flair just gets to completely walk away and ignore it all. But it's mostly new people. It's not like there's old clips, but like there's no like new Steamboat interview part or anything.
Well, did you see that thing with Steamboat this week where he came out talking about the last match?
No.
Well,
his last match or Flair's last match?
Flair's. He was supposed to be in it.
Yeah.
And do you see why he pulled out?
Probably because he didn't want Flair to die in the ring.
He found out Rick had a pacemaker. And he said, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And he goes, once that happened, no.
Can't be his responsibility.
And that's what he said. He goes, I can't be.
It's the right decision. And Flair almost died. So,
yeah.
And I think if he was looking across the ring at Steamboat, he would have pushed himself harder.
Yeah. And
he would have croaked.
Yeah. He said, because he goes, everything was agreed to. Like, we just didn't put pen to paper, didn't agree with money or anything yet. He goes, but it was going to be me on the other side.
Yeah.
And he goes, once I found out the pacemaker, I'm out.
Too much
I can't do that.
Yeah, too much of a risk.
Which is smart.
Yeah.
Now, I know you mentioned Eric Bischoff and Ric Flair. And with the 25th anniversary of Starrcade 97 just passing, there's been like everybody talking about on Twitter, that fucking main event of Starrcade 97, Sting and Hogan.
Sure.
And just how bad it fucking got bungled. And I've been thinking about it a ton. And because,
yes,
as I was saying to you before we started recording, that is like my favorite storyline ever.
Okay.
Is the
Sting versus NWO?
Yeah. It's perfection. I don't know. I don't give a fuck how many times he comes out and beats everybody up. I could have watched it every week,
Sure.
And like the story goes, like, and this is years ago, I remember on Conrad and Bischoff's podcast, where Conrad flipped the fuck out on Bischoff because Bischoff was said, oh, well, he showed up, but he wasn't tan enough, and he was not motivated, and that's where like there's the clip of Conrad like screaming at Bischoff about it. And I saw like a lot of people talking about it this week, and it just made me really fucking mad that you fucked up that goddamn story.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
All you had to do was. Bell rings.
Right, let wrestling be easy. Sting
fucking annihilates Hogan. NWO tries to get involved. WCW fights them off on Sting's behalf. Fucking Stinger death drop. Whatever, 1, 2, 3. And then at the end, Bret Hart comes out. You have your face off with Sting going off the air. That's it. That's all you fucking needed.
Right.
But no, you had the stupid fuck finish where the count of 3, and then Bret comes out, and he overturns it, and then he rings the bell. And then the next night on Nitro, they have the fucking... The match again where they go off the air and the match is still going. And just to lead up to your debut edition of Thunder to vacate the title. You vacate... I'm fucking still... 25 years later.
You're livid.
And I'm so fucking mad about it.
Yeah.
And it hurts my heart. And Eric Bischoff, you're a fucking asshole. I just need to get that off my chest.
I think that's a really important important thing. People like to bring Bischoff around, and even today or yesterday, somebody asked Bischoff about like if we're going to see him in AEW again, and he's like, "Oh, I don't think they're very happy with me. It's not likely." It's like, well, yeah, because they gave you a gig when you were unhireable. WWF hired you back for like a week before you blew that opportunity too, and then you just buried AEW, and that's fine. But I don't honestly see Bischoff's value in 2022.
No, there's none.
You know, he's still hanging on those 83 weeks. I still don't think he understands wrestling. You know, no. He is a baffling thing whenever anybody looks to Bischoff for any sort of advice or direction. Oh, excuse me, for professional wrestling. Because I just don't get it. He had a time and a place, and I think he was more lucky than he was good.
Yeah.
And I think WCW had enough money to bring everybody good over. But as soon as the talents in WWF that were sort of left with an open like show, and they were like, all right, well, we're plugging holes. Once those guys developed and got the experience, WCW didn't stand a fucking chance.
Yep.
You know, it wasn't like Bischoff left the company and then they were sold to WWF after they failed miserably. Yeah. Bischoff was still fucking there. He was involved in all that.
It just hurts my heart.
And
man.
so I don't see, you know, his value as sort of a guru of professional wrestling.
I don't either.
Beyond the late 90s. I see his value as a nostalgia act to tell the stories, but like to so many people go to him, and like it's just what wrestling fans do. They go to fucking Cornette, they go to all these assholes. Oh, what would you do? They don't know what they would do because they didn't last in wrestling beyond their specific eras, and it's so fucking different now.
Yeah.
You know, do I wish there was a sane Jim Cornette in the world that can come and give some advice?
Sure.
Absolutely. But Jim Cornette hasn't been sane since 1988.
That's fact.
So it's just what it is. So like, just stop putting value in these people, because Bischoff can say as good as he fucking wants, how you can say how good he was and he did all that and this, the other thing. Well, the company also failed miserably, and he also fucked stuff up like that fucking Sting Hogan thing. Like so I just, every time I see him, I just groan and I'm like, just get out of here. You are not fucking important to wrestling anymore.
No.
You know, like it would be like, it's the equivalent of asking like what Bill Watts thought of wrestling in 2023, like in 2022. Like, it's just, there's no value. The eras are completely fucking different.
Yeah.
And it's not like he was a guy like Dusty who was working behind the scenes nonstop, who never really left. So he was training these young kids up until he died, basically. That he was watching the business evolve and help these kids learn and evolve with it. Bischoff was gone. Bischoff hasn't been a main player, like a behind-the-scenes player. He's been an on-screen guy.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and he had some good on-screen stuff with WWF, but like, he was luck and money. He had Ted Turner's money and a ball of fucking luck. You know, and it's just what it, and Ted Turner owned fucking television. Like, it's just, it's insane to me. Bischoff, if you listen to this, you fucking suck. I'm not interested in Eric Bischoff in any capacity.
Nope,
I will literally talk to anybody else.
It's just, fuck, man. I get so mad every time it's signed.
Yeah.
With it being the 25th anniversary, I got real upset about it.
Yeah. So, 1997, who had the better 97 then? Sting or Hitman? Because Hitman's 97 is one of the best years.
They just both end, like, floundering.
Right.
Though, you know?
They do.
Not their faults.
No.
And that's just...
They both end in a situation.
Yeah. Like, it's just...
Kinda together. Kinda.
Yeah. It just...
Yeah.
I don't know. If one thing Vince McMahon was right about, he said WCW doesn't know what to do with Bret Hart.
Absolutely.
Like, fucking right.
So, this is... Since my brain isn't great. My brain no good. So Thunder debuts in 97, 98?
Yeah, end of 97.
Wow. Because in my brain, like, I mark Thunder as the beginning of the downfall of WCW.
Well, you're not fucking wrong, because, you know, it's not that far off.
Super into it. Loved watching. Was so into WCW at that time. I loved the Sting stuff. The Raven stuff was big in the ECW. Wasn't big in the WWF until... You know, I always say I was one of the people that when they came on TV on Nitro and said Mick Foley's going to win the championship. What do you need to watch that for? I was one of the people that switched the fucking channel to watch Mick Foley.
So it was January 8th, 98.
Okay, so there you go.
So yeah, that was it.
That Thunder. And to me, that marks the beginning of the end. When they expanded to Thunder, I thought they didn't have enough content and they didn't know what they were doing, and then it was a slow decline from there. The video games got worse, the show got worse, until they collapsed. And that's crazy that it was that early in 98. It seems so early to me for that to be happening.
Well, like a lot of people say, like that was such like a fucking failure.
Yeah.
You know, the Goldberg stuff like happens after this, obviously, which is like huge, no doubt.
Sure.
But just how you fucked Sting up like that.
Yeah. Wait, the Goldberg stuff meaning like the streak and everything?
Yeah, that's in like 98, 99.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The Goldberg streak's 98,
because I'm pretty sure it's, was it Starrcade?
Man, I've said this on the show before, and we talk about it. Like, my brain has a really hard time with chronology. So, like, I remember watching that stuff, but I could tell you that the general era of it. But like knowing that like Thunder and the Goldberg streak are happening at the same time for whatever reason doesn't compute in my brain.
So think about this. So Starrcade 97 is Sting Hogan.
Yeah.
Starrcade 98.
Mm-hmm.
Nash ends Goldberg streak.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, that's only a year apart.
Yeah. But the streak was happening before that.
The streak was kind of going on.
What did he hit on the streak? He was like over 100, right?
Yeah, I forget.
So that would take like two matches a week.
Well, it depends on, 1 week it's,
right. That's true.
98 the next week goes, 116
right. He wrestled El Dandy 6 times at a house show.
Hey, who are you to doubt El Dandy?
But, yeah, it's just since my brain doesn't have a chronology locked down.
Starrcade 97, Goldberg faces Mongo.
Right, of course he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And like so 98, like Raven goes back to ECW, right? Is that 98?
Yeah, because he's still there in 97.
Right.
Yeah.
So like that's crazy that all that shit happened so fast. It's crazy to think that like WCW, like 83 weeks is less than 2 years. Like, we're right now living, and WCW was around for a very long time, so it's not quite the same. But like, we're living in an era where AEW's existed for 3 years. This is going to be going on the 4th year, kind of. Yeah. Well, I mean, a while off when you get to the fall, but like. That's really interesting to think like about it in that regard. Like WCW being on top was less than 2 years, and sort of once they stopped being on top, they really were. They never even came close again. They were up and up, but then like it would just small steps down, a little step up, small step down. 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
So with Raven,
it
was
like a cat.
End of June '97 is when he debuts in WCW.
Right.
He leaves August '99.
Oh, he leaves in 99.
Yeah.
Okay. That's crazy too, because Raven
he leaves right after the Deadpool.
Yeah.
Him, Vampiro, and ICP.
Right. Raven is such an integral part of what made WCW great in that era.
Yeah.
That it's so funny that it ends up being such a short little window too. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, man.
God,
the fucking downfall of that company happened so fast.
It's wild. It's wild to think like
at the time, like you don't realize it. Right. Now you go back and look and you go, "Wow!"
Right, and
what the hell?
What they do say. It's the old quote, the sort of wise and elder quote of the years start coming and they don't stop coming.
That's fucking facts.
But WCW, it's just crazy. I guess this is WCW podcast this week, but
I'm not mad.
Flair leaves as Real World's champion. He's in the '92 Rumble, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's back by '93.
Yeah, because '93 Starrcade '93 is Invader,
right?
When he wins the belt back.
So like, it's crazy that like '93, '94, while WCW doesn't get the credit, WCW's really good.
Yeah.
Everybody's 1995 except for ECW sucks ass.
Yeah, because WCW gets full Hogan pilled.
Right. 96 starts to get better. Yep. ECW's hitting its full stride.
Bash at the Beach happens.
Right. And then so it's 96 to 2001, like 5-year period. That company goes from the most successful wrestling company you could possibly be
to dead.
To dead.
To actually dead.
To dead. it's really crazy to think about it that way. All while the time that like ECW is also trying to figure itself out and also dies around the same time. It's really wrestling. Like, I think we talked about this a few weeks ago or months ago, and if not, we were talking about it in person. But like, or maybe when Jenna was in, our friend Jenna and I was talking to Jenna. But like, we were really lucky to have what we had growing up.
Absolutely.
No doubt. I think it was a bit of a conversation I was having with Jenna about how we had 2 to 3 punk venues. You had to pick what hardcore punk show you wanted to go to because they were all happening at the same time in our little podunk town, like all that kind of stuff. And then wrestling, we had so much going on. WCW, WWF, ECW, like all running at the same time, all doing crazy stuff. Like every aspect of wrestling that you wanted to see was covered. And then come 2001, and again, I don't mean to erase Impact, but like you've had 20 years of just one kind of wrestling, and it's been pretty well because even Impact just like Hogan's doing thumbtack matches in 2007, like you don't want to or whatever, like nobody needs to see that.
Well,
shit.
That's already past like almost the glory day of Impact,
right?
It's already done by then,
right? So, like, it's really kind of crazy to think how fast things in wrestling move and how when people sort of critique AEW, and AEW does some things not great.
Sure.
But, like, 3 years in business, if you think 3 years in business with some of the stars they've had, and, like, when you look at, like, Raven being in WCW for a little under 3 years before he goes back to ECW, like, it's remarkable that like they've managed to do what they've done, and as the strong number 2 company, I don't think anybody's asking anything else of them for that. But it's really remarkable they've managed to keep for 3 years Chris Jericho and Moxley and a lot of these guys like really on top of their programs and on top of the wrestling world.
Yeah,
it's crazy how wrestling evolved and crazy with how fast wrestling moves that. While people want to pick on the ratings and all that sort of stuff, and we used to talk about that when we were comparing head to head, and it's the furthest thing from my mind nowadays. I don't give a shit.
No, I don't care.
Like, give me a good wrestling show and we're fine.
Yeah.
But it's remarkable that for how fast wrestling is going, AEW is still on an upward trend and is going to eventually get that mega signing. Or find that mega young star that's going to rocket them up even further, is really kind of remarkable to watch again, and I really like doing it.
Yeah,
because I was kind of miserable when WWE was the only option.
Sure.
And there's long periods where I stopped watching because of that. So, and I still don't really watch, but
I dabble.
Anyway.
What do you want to talk about, man?
Speaking of AEW, let's before we get into the year and stuff, let's just run through the AEW stuff from this week because I think
here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna call out what you liked,
okay,
and I'm gonna I'll see if I liked it too,
okay.
Just so we don't hit every little thing.
Yeah, and I think that's what we should do. And I think Rampage and especially Dynamite were really fucking great shows this week.
I thought so too.
Dynamite, one of the best Dynamites they've had.
Dynamite kicked ass
really pretty remarkable. I think the down note on Dynamite was the women's match, and the women's match was still pretty good, or pretty okay.
Yeah, it was all right.
But from Rampage, Billy and Bowens versus Triple J was fine. It's bizarre to see Jeff Jarrett wrestle Billy Gunn in 2023 in the main event.
Weird, yeah.
The thing I will talk about from Rampage that I think is the most important and the best thing they did was Claudio versus Top Flight.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. I thought the Battle Royal was fun.
The Battle Royal was fun, but Claudio versus Top Flight at the end of the Battle Royal is fantastic. Yeah. And they seem to be doing this. My biggest takeaway, we've said it before, I'm not referring to Claudio when I say this. If you want the fans to buy wrestlers as stars, book them as stars.
Sure.
Make them do things or allow them to do things that make them look like stars. And Dante Martin, to a lesser extent because of injuries, his brother, the crowd has been behind them from the beginning and they have looked like stars. But they have been losing. They look like they're waiting for that breakout, and they would lose and lose.
Yeah.
And here, they win. Claudio looks great beating them both up, but they're doing a lot of cool stuff with a guy who is perfectly suited to wrestle these two guys and make them look like $1 million.
Yep.
And Top Flight comes out of it looking like bigger stars than they were when they walked in. And then they follow that up on Dynamite and allow them to continue to look really fucking good.
Yep.
In a loss, but really fucking good nonetheless.
Yeah, they look good.
We got 5 more wins for Jade before she loses that belt. She's going to get to 50.
Okay, I'll give you that.
She's going to get to 50. This is what it is. That's a nice number.
Hopefully Statlander will be back.
They're going to give her a little plaque, 50 wins,
Yep.
you know, and then
And
she'll
hopefully
lose and
Statlander's
move into
back.
the main picture. That might come up in my predictions later.
Okay.
Dynamite. So, Dynamite's really interesting this week because they open with Dragon versus Ego Page.
Yep.
And I was like, this match is fucking awesome. They give it 20 minutes.
I thought it was all
and I'm like,
fucking great.
I'm like, wow, this is so good. Ethan is worth more money than you're paying him. Dragon's having a great match with him. You're letting it go 20 minutes. It was awesome. And I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a cool Dynamite if that's what they're opening up with. And then the Top Flight versus Blackpool Combat Club match happens. And I'm like, what are they doing on this episode? This is crazy.
The in-ring on this episode was pretty wild.
And they gave it a shit ton of time.
Yep.
And even though the matches were long, none of them overstayed.
No, I thought they were all fun.
I fucking dug them like crazy. And then the rest of the show is good. You get some good Jungle Boy, Big Stoke, whatever. I think this was the best trios match out of the 6 they've had so far.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I think we're both...
I thought last week's was good.
Yeah.
This week's was even better.
I think we're both biased to Plunder.
Of course,
I think they should have bled. So, you know,
agreed.
Listen here, guys.
Yep.
If you're wearing jeans and a white t-shirt to a wrestling match, you should bleed.
Good on Kenny Omega for wearing the proper attire.
Absolutely.
He knew.
I saw somebody online say he's dressed like his outfit is Spare Fire Pro Parts. I was like, yes, it's true.
That's the way it should be. And he's wearing a Kota Ibushi shirt.
I think this is the best one, and one of the better utilized Falls Count Anywhere jobs at the end that anybody's ever done. Because usually they're all Falls Count Anywhere. We're going to pin him in the back, or we're going to pin him on the ramp, everybody. The fact that there was something going on in the ring, and there was something going on outside the ring, and the outside the ring ended first.
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
It was super smart. The camera sucked on it. They missed the 3 count, and then they missed the Jackson tapping out immediately after the 3 count on the pin, which they should, you know, let's in your 2023 revamp, let's fix that shit.
That I agree with.
But I really like it. I think it's really smart. I think it was the best of the series. A series that I was stale with because I don't like fucking half of it. I could do without the Young Bucks Northern Lights thing down the ramp.
That was
it's
just
bad. Also in the last one, he almost didn't get everybody over.
Yeah,
because he's just that's a spot for a bigger guy or somebody wrestling smaller guys. And when he does it to 2 guys who are bigger than him because everybody's bigger than the Bucks, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But whatever. I really like this match. I like Plunder and crazy bullshit. The one winged angel off the fucking.
It was gnarly.
It was gnarly, and obviously there's a shit ton of padding and everything.
Yeah.
But I liked it. That's the way to do it. We said the tag match was okay. Willow. Willow's obviously my favorite in this match.
Respectfully.
Respectfully. But I got really mad at Ruby for like being annoyed with Willow. Like when Willow was like skanking to the ring.
Yeah.
And like Ruby's supposed to be like all business because, you know, they literally blasted the nose off her face.
Yeah.
So she's all business. But I'm like, don't you yell at Willow. Willow's just supporting you. Yeah. You should be happy too. And then I was like, all right, I'm only voting for Willow.
I think Excalibur was like, she skanks better than I do.
Yeah. Ruby has done very little to impress me in her entire run in AEW. I'm just not interested.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But kudos respectfully to AEW's gear makers for Anna Jay and Tay Mello's gear.
Roll tide on that.
Joe Wardlow was good, a little confused about the beatdown and what the purpose was, I guess, to weaken Wardlow into the loss. But you don't need to because Joe's
like strong enough the way
over. He's the king of TV.
I get he's a heel and he's getting the advantage, but you know.
Yeah, Wardlow also forgot to limp the first 5 steps out of the tunnel and then remembered when he got down the ramp.
Yeah.
But so I don't really need to talk about that. But what we do need to talk about is you're stealing money like it's Kurt Angle's wife.
Oh yeah. That rap was awesome.
That was awesome.
It was so funny.
I think it was Joe last week on Night Out said like Sanjay Dutt's rap was perfect because he's the bad guy and it's supposed to be bad, and the good guys are supposed to be good at this stuff. This was awesome. Karen Jarrett going off a little bit on social media because she's in the business. Everybody,
of course, she's a worker.
She's married to Jeff Jarrett. She knows. She knows what's going on. Kurt Angle,
he's a worker.
We'll see. He might be a little rubbed the wrong way, but all right. I think that's a wound that's not healed completely.
Better heal fast.
But yeah, I thought that was real good. It's good jabs at everybody.
Max Caster's very talented.
Yeah, good jabs at Jay Lethal. It's what we all think about these guys, and they nailed everybody. So
I think he dropped the Jeffrey Dahmer line.
Yeah.
And I guess somebody said something about today. I don't know if it was Karen, and Max quote tweeted it, and he goes, "Well, I almost referred to him as a different Jeffrey, but I don't think you'd like that either."
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Private Island.
Oh, Max rules.
Allegedly, Elon Musk's buddy.
Allegedly.
Just depending if you whatever.
I'll tell you. How about that fucking pop Darby got at the end?
Yeah.
Crowd was psyched to see him.
People seem to think that he's going to beat Joe at the next show.
I can see it, yeah.
I don't think so.
Hometown, first Dynamite of the year. You're like revamping Dynamite or whatever with new graphics and shit. I think so. I think you could do it.
You think so? I think there's more. I
could see Wardlow costing Joe one of the belts.
Oh, yeah, you could do that. I guess that makes sense.
You know?
I could see... So... because Joe's so hot right now, and this is some of the best we've seen of Joe in a while, I think Darby's the right guy. But I think there's more money in Joe just beating the piss out of Darby for a couple weeks.
There is, but I think you just got to strike while it's hot.
Yeah, because you can get to a pay-per-view with a gimmick match that Joe would lose.
But their next pay-per-view is not for another 2 months.
Is it 2 months away?
Yeah.
But is there a special show? Is that what's the next week?
Well, it's just like the first Dynamite of the year.
I guess so. If there's like a Winners Are Coming or something, or Fighter Fest that they do on regular TV, I think that would be a better spot for it.
Well, they just had Winners Coming, so.
But yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, I know that Winners Coming wasn't happening, but something similar to that. I guess Wardlow. I didn't really think of that for whatever reason. Wardlow costing him and continuing that feud without a belt involved to get Darby involved. I guess that makes some sense.
I could see it.
Wardlow has not maintained where Wardlow was.
See, that crowd was super into him last night.
They were super into him, but
he hasn't had much to work with.
Yeah, right. I don't think there's been much for him, and it made me realize last night that he is sort of one of the untalked about victims of the Punk stuff.
See, I look at him more so as a victim of the Max stuff.
Well, yeah, same. Yeah, sure.
You know,
right.
And I'm not talking after All Out or whatever. I'm talking. Max was like,
leave. Right. No, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, that's more accurate when you go back a little further. But I think with the Punk stuff and whatever the hell that happened that overshadowed everybody, I think Wardlow was probably going to be more involved in that picture somewhere.
I don't know.
And shit got changed. But yeah, he definitely suffered from MJF leaving because he beats MJF in that. Because
what all did everybody talk about that weekend?
Right.
Was MJF.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
But we'll see. I don't know that Wardlow has the magic that he once did. I think he's still over, but I don't know if he has that magic.
He looked good last night.
But we'll
say that, man.
We'll see. I like Joe so much more that I want him to keep. I want him to be king of TV for a little while longer.
I do too. Yeah.
And I like Darby. I don't think we're going to see anything new out of Darby. I think while it's not necessarily Joe's changing like his in ring or anything, I think this is a more compelling bad guy stuff that Joe's been doing than we've seen out of him, at least in AEW so far. So to lose that for Darby to be doing the same thing he's just done the whole time is a little.
I look at it this way though. TNT is supposed to be like your second biggest title.
Right.
Do you want 2 heel champs as your 2 biggest belts right now?
That's true.
Kind of like I get it. Acclaimed your baby face, Orange is baby face, but
yeah, I guess that makes sense.
You have to have like that dynamic.
Yeah, if you're gonna treat it like you're Intercontinental champion, and then you do that and have Darby and Max meet up eventually down the line, which there is backstory there.
Yeah.
Although in my predictions, I'm going to tell you who Max loses that title to, but But yeah, I mean that's that's pretty much it. I think it was a really good fucking Dynamite though.
I did too, man. I was all about
it. I really dug it.
Yeah, me too, man.
But that was all I watched. You didn't watch any E or anything?
No, the only thing that I watched was I didn't watch anything from the E because it was all pre-tape and it was all like the Raw was a best of.
Oh really?
Yeah. And then
let everybody go home to their families.
So it's funny you say that because they still worked house shows. They I think they did it to let like the production crew and the TV crew kind of stay home a bit.
Yeah.
So, because there's always after the house show after Christmas at MSG.
Yeah, it's
like one of their big shows of the year. Sure. So,
and that's where Bray did his in-ring debut and beat Jinder Mahal.
Yes. Oh, Jinder.
Don't hinder the Jinder.
But no, the only other thing I watched was the end of Suzuki Gun.
Okay.
They had their like 4-on-4 match at the last Road 2 show.
Yeah.
It was cool at the end. Iska came back.
Yeah.
And he came through the crowd
like a wild picture. He looked like $1 million.
Yeah, he looks great.
He's an old man.
He stole back his iron fingers from Tai Chi.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It was so cool. They like all like posed together at the end and shit. It was real cool.
That's good.
Yeah, they had Sabre beat Suzuki at the end.
Oh, yeah.
He hit him with the Sabre driver and he yelled, "Thank you, Suzuki." Like when he did it. Yeah, it was cool.
I imagine it's got to be...
cried.
It's got to be Sabre Goon.
And Sabre said, he goes, "This is just the end of like Suzuki Goon. This is the end of Dangerous Techers."
Yeah.
Like him and... He goes, "This is it." He goes, "We're all going separate."
Interesting.
I'm like, that's very intriguing.
I wonder if they'll join or, join other stuff, be independents.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting because like Desperado's on a streak in the middle of this year, and like Tai Chi may not, he's done some better stuff, but like your Zack Sabre, your Desperados, like those guys really are big.
Yeah.
And like Suzuki, I don't think he's retiring. I think he's probably just going to float.
Well, Suzuki said he goes, just because this is done doesn't mean I still don't want the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. I'll put it on him. Why not?
I would. Why the fuck
Why
not? Let's do it.
He's still one of the most believable wrestlers on the fucking planet. Right.
That's it.
Right.
Oh, it is a 2-month reign.
Absolutely.
Have him beat fucking whoever wins the belt at Wrestle Kingdom. Have him beat him at the New Beginning show.
Right.
Then your next big show, have him drop it.
Right. Have Jay White beat Okada. Have Suzuki beat Jay White. And then in 2 months have Okada beat Suzuki.
Makes sense to me.
Right.
I'd be down with that.
Okada and Suzuki have remarkable chemistry.
Yes, they do. They absolutely do.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, that was it from that's all I watched from this week.
All right, that's all you watched. That's all I watched. What everybody's been waiting for. They sat through 40 minutes of us bullshitting about Sodies. We promised a year-end wrap-up show.
This is it.
And this is going to be our year-end wrap-up show.
2022, R.I.P.
This is the last week. Next week, there's so much wrestling because of the New Year's with...
mainly Japanese wrestling.
Japanese wrestling. Muda versus...
Nakamura
and whatever the hell, and I think isn't it like
Keno versus Kaito GHC title?
Yeah, that's gonna be good too. That whole show is gonna be like killer, and then Wrestle Kingdom next week. So we're our schedule's booked.
Boy,
2023 is gonna start crazy.
Look at a year ago
when Noah had their biggest show ever and how they shit the bed throughout the year. Yeah. Crazy. Fucking crazy.
Yeah,
we were so high on fucking Noah. Like, I even look at the cards now and I see, like, Kita Mia and all those dudes are, like, second match out. Like, they haven't moved anybody around.
Nope.
The main events are still Fujita, and I'm like, what? I don't care.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So what topic you want to go with first here, pal?
Pal, I'm going to default to you. This was, you named, well, I mean, we talked about it, but you laid out the list. You're the driving force behind this. I have my lists.
All right.
You lead us through.
All right. So, I guess we'll start simple.
Sure.
What was your favorite show of the year?
Oh,
your favorite event?
Best show of the year. So I have two in case you picked the one that I picked.
Okay.
But
what is it, like a 1A 1B situation?
Kind of.
Okay.
Best show. So. My favorite show of the year is the pay-per-view we went to because I had a fucking blast.
Okay,
that doesn't count.
Hey, that could count.
It's
your
my
favorite show.
But I don't think it's the best. And I went best show that anybody put on this year. And from an in-ring standpoint, my best number one show of the year is Forbidden Door.
Same. It's definitely Forbidden Door.
As far as like pay-per-views and how fucking good they can be, Revolution was really good.
Yes.
But Forbidden Door, from the spectacle, from the fact that they actually were able to pull it off, from the fact that they were able to pull it off with all the fucking last-minute injuries and shit they had to do around everything, Forbidden Door, I think, is the best pay-per-view, especially in-ring show, that anybody did this year.
You know, as fans of like New Japan, we were super fucking stoked on it.
Right.
You know, if you remember the discourse around the time, a lot of people were like, this card fucking sucks. This show's going to be trash.
Well, Kenny was hurt.
Yeah, Kenny was out. Punk was out, you know.
Yep.
And a lot of people were...
Ospreay, like, they defaulted Ospreay to OC, and everybody threw a shit fit about it.
Yeah, because people were like, oh, you're wasting Will Ospreay on Orange Cassidy.
They
just go out and have the best match of the show.
Right.
You know, and I just remember being so fucking hyped about it and watching it and just being so happy.
Right.
Like, holy shit, what a huge crossover event this was. Yes. That was definitely my favorite show of the year.
I think a really remarkable thing for this show, too, is us watching it with non-Japanese wrestling fans.
Yes.
And how much those people enjoyed it also.
Yeah.
Because there was not a bad match on this fucking show.
I remember, like, the most shocking match I thought was Swerve and Keith Lee against like Despy and like Yoshida and Kanemaru, like had no right being as good as it was, and it was fucking great.
Absolutely.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Yes.
Yeah. What a card.
What was Kingston on that?
I don't remember. Oh, he was in like a 6-man.
Was he in the 6-man?
Yeah, it was him, Umino, and I forget who else against Jericho, Suzuki.
Oh, right.
And Sammy.
Was it Mox? Probably
no, because Mox Tanahashi was the main event.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's I remember.
But like that's when Shibata came out to save Orange Cassidy. Like, what the fuck? What a crazy event!
Crazy event, great show.
Yeah,
and then we eventually got Shibata OC. So,
what a
just a thing that nobody thought would ever happen in wrestling.
No.
And, like, you could be as happy as you want or whatever excited you are about Carl Anderson being in the WWE and working Wrestle Kingdom. That doesn't happen if Forbidden Door wasn't as successful as it was.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
All right. So, we'll go the 5 wrestlers that you feel like should be signed to a major promotion in 2023.
Ooh, okay. So
we'll start. You will alternate. You give me your 5, and then I'll give you my 5.
I don't have them. Oh, so we're gonna go all 5, not one.
No, one and one. That's what I mean. Yeah.
I don't have them in any particular order.
That's
I just have 5 people listed.
That's fine.
So my number one, or not my number one, but the first one I'm gonna say is a wrestler that I really enjoy seeing. That I think is still very young, but deserves to be featured on some AEW Darks and involved sort of through that way to get the experience. Edith Surreal.
Okay. All right. I like that.
I don't know that Edith is ready to be thrown sort of like Willow has been, where Willow had a handful or more of dark matches and now is a pretty big player. But I think Edith is talented enough and young enough that Edith can start being involved in lots of stuff on Dark. They should have Edith there most of the time, and then to give Edith the rest of the tools that she needs to continue to grow. So it's Edith for
all right.
Yeah,
cool. So I have mine ranked.
Okay,
my number 5, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Okay,
I feel like he is too good to be an MLW.
Okay,
I feel like he could add a lot to either AEW or WWE. I know we have like the bloodline and everything going on now.
What's his relation to the rest of the Samoans?
He's like
Fatu,
so he's a real one.
He's not one of Kishi's kids though, right? Kishi's kids are all there.
Yeah, that's Solo and the Usos.
So he's just like a nephew or cousin.
Something like that. I can't keep track to be honest.
Because Fatu, Rikishi Fatu, and that's
yeah.
Sort of.
I mean, he's 29.
Okay.
He's trained by Rikishi.
Okay.
And the Black Pearl and Sin Bodhi. So he's the son of Tonga Kid.
Oh, okay.
So it's Tonga Kid's son.
All right. Okay,
so,
cool.
I feel like I've been seeing him on the indies for a long time, and I feel like he would fit.
Yeah,
and I don't know why he's not.
Yeah, that lineage always gets over. It's just what it is.
Seriously, it is what it is.
It's always wrestling, particularly WWE, always needs some sort of Samoan presence.
Yeah,
I just think it just feels WWE.
Yeah.
All right,
you're up next.
This one might be on your list also. Our gender-neutral tournament pick, Max the Impaler.
Not on my list.
No, wow.
I kind of forgot.
Max is great. Max has a look. And I would like for Max to get on AEW TV to show the world what Sarah Logan fucking isn't.
There we go. Let's go, boy.
So that's Max. Max is awesome. If Max could break bottles somewhere on television, I'm there for it. So Max the Impaler is my next pick.
Yeah. So my next pick, and I'm going to kind of cheat on this one.
Okay. I have a cheat on mine too.
Because it's kind of a combo pick.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's not a combo pick.
Okay.
So my number 4 is the combination of the Boar and Erica Lee, known as Gummy Boar.
Okay.
You could bring them in together.
Mm-hmm.
You could bring them in separate.
Okay.
Erica's gotten some shine in some AEW dark matches.
Sure.
I feel like she is ready to blow.
Right. I dub them, for the ECWA breakthrough champions there. Both championships.
Her and Boar are probably my favorite tag team on the independents.
Okay.
And I'd love to see them both get some shine.
Yeah.
But I could really see Erica in that AEW women's division,
for sure,
getting her own place.
Okay,
because she Kawada kicks people,
right? Yeah,
that makes me happy.
Here's the thing I'm going to say, and I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to make anybody mad. Or friend of the show, if you will, friend of the network. I've heard rumors, allegedly. Let me put that out there about Boar. Allegedly, and I hope nobody gets mad at this, but I've heard rumors that there might be a real handsome guy involved somewhere in there.
Okay.
Allegedly. And, I'm not disrespecting Boar in any way.
No.
But, they took the mask off Andrade for a reason. You know what I mean?
Easy on the eyes.
So, just saying.
Easy on the eyes, brother.
Just saying. All right.
You're next up.
My next pick, I'm going to move my order around a little bit. This is a cheat.
Okay.
I have a specific landing place. And this is a cheat because this person is an Impact.
All right, I'll give you that. All right. So, my thinking, when going into this, I was like, should I add anybody from Impact? Right. And I could have, but I didn't.
I only put this one person on my list, although they are a member of a tag team. But it pains me that this person never got more. It's Alex Shelley.
Yeah.
Alex Shelley seems to be very happy in his life.
Absolutely.
Is a New Japan Strong champion. Is an Impact. The Motor City Machine Guns are all over the place again.
Yeah.
And I could not be happier for them. If that's what he wants to do and he's happy where he is, that is fucking great. Right?
Yeah.
And I know that they had the one-off. But there is no reason on this planet that I should not be watching a best of 7 Alex Shelley versus American Dragon on TV for the next 7 weeks.
Fucking right, man. For real.
So it's a cheat because, yes, he is signed in Impact and is working on TV in a few different places. But Alex Shelley never got what he fucking deserved for being as good as he is, as good as he continues to be.
Yeah.
I want Alex Shelley specifically in AEW.
Okay. I think it'd be a great addition.
Right.
We got a little tease of him in AEW when they had that one-off. But
we did.
All right, so my next one on the list. And listen, if this guy's like a fucking jerk off, you can tell me.
Okay.
Because I don't know anything about him like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if he sucks, fill me in, please.
Okay.
Alex Hammerstone.
Okay.
I feel
Definitely
like
has the look.
the guy has the fucking look.
There must be something. He's tight with MJF, and if that ain't getting him,
I feel like he's on one of those like weird ironclad MLW contracts.
Okay.
He's the current MLW champion.
Yeah. Box Fight Studios doing MLW figures.
Are they really?
Yeah.
See those in 2025.
Right.
But I feel like Alex Hammerstone,
Okay.
like the dude is just, I don't know. It looks like he has it all.
Mm-hmm.
Matches I've seen of him have been good.
Right.
And yeah, you kind of wonder, it's like, why? Is it the contracts thing? Who knows? But I feel like that dude definitely could be a mainstay on either program.
Okay. I like it.
That's where I'm going.
My next pick, I'm going to switch these up. They're not in order on my list here. But my last one I'm thinking we might duplicate on.
Okay.
I'll be a little surprised if we don't. So I'm going to say that one last.
Okay.
But this pick comes with my mindset of improving specifically AEW's women's division, which I am a big fan of, especially after that Hater Sheeta match. And lots of people have, sort of decry the women's division, not as good as WWE's, this and that, the other thing, blah, blah, blah. I've said it before on here. She's had a couple little dark things. It's Trish Adora. I love Trish Adora. I remember watching Trish Adora for the first time on Jerry's Internet Wrestling Emporium on one of the Beyond shows, and was like immediately drawn. Like, who is this? What's going on? Her finisher is called the Lariat Tubman. She rules. And I think, much like I said with Edith Surreal, sort of get her involved on Dark more and give her the tools in her tool bag that she doesn't have yet to get her where she needs to be.
Sure.
I think Trish can be implanted anywhere in the middle to upper middle of this women's division, be an improvement, and get similar treatment to Willow. She's not as magnetic of a character as Willow because nobody's as magnetic of a character as Willow, but Trish can get in there and hang, if not be better than at least half that women's division in AEW.
I can get down with that. I like Trish a lot.
So I like Trish, and that's my second to last signing.
So my second to last, Mr. Stiffy McGee himself.
Yeah.
Josh Bishop.
That's my number one.
I
knew we were going to...
the fuck that guy
I figured we were going to...
not under a contract.
Right.
It puzzles me. I feel like it puzzles me every day.
Yes.
I'm wearing a Psycho Sid shirt. This might as well just be a Josh Bishop shirt.
That was going to be my pitch.
Okay.
What wrestling federation on television right now doesn't need or could not use a Psycho Sid?
Every single promotion should have a Psycho Sid.
Right.
Listen, Big Bill, you ain't Psycho Sid. I'm sorry.
No, you got the two G's though.
Yeah, but you're not Psycho Sid.
Right.
But I love Josh Bishop. Yep. He's the fucking man.
That was my last pick. I figured we were going to cross
criminal
over on that one.
That he has not signed somewhere.
Think of how over he would be in AEW with a foam fist, a fist bump all the kids when he comes out.
Or just punches people's hands for real.
Right. Yeah. Right. Or just
I've seen the video of him doing it. And it's
punches
great.
Knuckles. Yeah, that's why you got to put a little foam padding. You got to give all the kids 8-ounce gloves.
The kids can have. Listen, Josh, when you're walking through, you see the kids. Give them a little.
Yeah.
A grown man, fucking game on, bro.
Right.
I'm trying to break your hand.
Yeah. So I ain't got nothing else. That's my. You can talk more about Josh if you want, but that was my last pick.
My number one, and this ain't a bit.
Okay.
This isn't me working shtick.
Okay.
Broski.
Wow. Oh, you lose a bet to Adam or something?
No, only if you let him not be Zack Ryder. He has to be Matt Cardona. Okay. Obviously, he can't cut this same lame-ass shtick promos that he's been cutting for the past year or so. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the work that he's done since he's left that company, since he got fired from WWE, say what you want about the dude, guy draws fucking money. Yeah. He just does.
It's a remarkable indie run.
Yeah. And
he's done a really good job of, for better or worse, protecting himself and growing his image.
Yeah.
And to bring up our friend Jenna again, I said when they were visiting a few weeks ago that to this day, I'm impressed that Cardona went as hard as he did against Gage in that match, in that show that we were at.
Yeah,
because you can get out there and do a
he
death
didn't have
match,
to.
and you can take a tube and get a cut, and run the razor and walk out of there looking like you were in a death match. He had a death match.
He had a death match.
He had a death match.
I'll never forget you saying, if Matt Cardona is in a death match within 3 hours, I'll be there.
Right.
And we went, and you were like, yep, I'm happy I'm fucking here.
Right. That match ruled.
Yeah.
He's not my guy. It's a great pick. I didn't even consider him. It's a pretty much a done deal that he's going to be in the E, I would assume. Chelsea got rid of her OnlyFans. She's going to be back. He can't be that far behind. He's gonna have to. The one thing he's going to have to do is change his diet. He's going to have to start eating better.
That's true.
Yeah, because
the one thing
they test for broccoli in the WWE.
The one thing I know that he said is like, if they make me get rid of not do my podcast, I'm not fucking going back. We'll see.
I think as long as he doesn't hang dong on the internet, he should be okay.
Let Myers promote like AEW and everything else.
Myers just extended with Impact.
Yeah. It seems like Impact, they don't give a shit about like promoting other places. They don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's not a shtick or whatever. It's legit.
Sure.
The guy, like, you've done all you can, I feel like, on the indies.
Right.
And he had a great fucking run. Go back to the Go back to the 2 years.
Right.
Retire if you want.
Make your money, save your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If your wife is there, you get to travel with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big fucking deal.
Right. Get somebody to watch your dog so your toy collection survives.
That's a fact. All right.
So good. I feel like those were good lists. I'm
surprised
we didn't cross over more on that one, but all right.
Yeah. I kind of threw this one at you before the show started.
Yeah.
I have 3 top action figures for the year.
Okay.
I don't know how many you have.
I have one in my brain, and that's all I really need.
Well, that's fine. All right, so
I have more. We can talk about it.
So I'll start then.
Okay.
My third highest.
All right.
The Hulk Hogan War Bonnet.
Yeah, that'd be my number 3 too.
Okay, that's my number 3.
Yeah.
Just because how many times you, myself, and Doug have sat here laughing over it. I could send Doug a picture of Hogan in the War Bonnet, and I know he's going to laugh.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just the most absurd fucking thing in the history of Earth.
Yeah.
And when it got announced, you're like, dude, I'm pre-ordering it right fucking now. I was like, I'll wait to see if it is. Sure enough.
Yeah.
It's the Hogan War Bonnet.
I pre-ordered that on the rumor that it was going to be the War Bonnet just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely fucking worth it. When I see it on sale, I'm like, I should buy 2.
I know, right? Yeah. I feel like I need to walk.
Right.
I need to buy 10 put a War Bonnet for each one of my fingers.
I'm going to learn how to make actual helmets. I'm going to make us all real War Bonnets that we can wear places.
So fucking sick.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's your number 3 as well?
That's my number 3 as well, for sure.
Number 2 for me?
Yeah. We might cross over on here, too.
I don't think we will.
Okay.
Number 2 for me, because it's so fucking insane and stupid. Lagoon.
Ooh, interesting. I never picked it up.
They made a Goon figure.
Yes.
I'm a proud owner of said Goon figure.
Yes.
It's actually like an incredible figure.
Yeah, I see people selling it, and I always think about it, but I don't have an actual.
And just like the world of like where we're at with like the wrestling figures, the fact that you can make a Goon figure, and have people like, what the fuck, this is sick, is pretty cool to me.
Right.
It's just, I'm a sucker for new generation shit.
Yeah.
And so my number 2 is the Goon.
Okay.
How about you?
My number 2 is the No Holds Barred box set.
That's my number 1. Okay. So, all right.
So my number 2 is No Holds Barred box set. The packaging,
it's incredible.
The ludicrousness of it. I don't need a Zeus displayed. I haven't taken them out. I'd much rather keep them in the awesome packaging and have them on display that way and slide them open when I want to look at them. That is it. I remember how sort of gobsmacked we all were when they announced it. Like,
it was insane.
How are you doing that? And then the packaging, like, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
The box says, "What's that smell?" on it. It's pretty fucking phenomenal. Everybody was super pumped about it. One of the better sort of boxes that they've ever done.
I agree, man. That's my number 1 for sure.
All right, my number 1, a shocker to nobody.
Damian Priest.
The Damian Priest. Right. Michelle and I were in Target the other day, and they have like 3 Molly Hollies and like nothing else. But there was a Damian Priest, and she went, "That's the guy you hate, right?" Like most of all. And I was like, "Absolutely."
Yep. Hell yeah.
But my number 1, a shock to no one. Well, No Holds Barred, I'm counting the set. I am not counting the set for this one. The Ultimate Wrestling Superstars, LJN ripoff Terry Funk. Not ripoff, LJN tribute Terry Funk. I don't think that's a shock to anybody. Coming in a year where I got 2 brand new Terry Funk figures.
I'm a little surprised Chainsaw Charlie wasn't on yours.
That Chainsaw Charlie figure is awesome. But
War Bonnet and No Holds Barred is
weird.
Insane, yeah.
But it is crazy that Hogan is in all 3 of mine.
Yeah.
While I'm not a Hogan guy, I have Terry Fatigue in that
yep.
regard. But just the Terry Funk Wrestling Superstars, whatever line they call it.
It's incredible.
It's coming from the angle of who they've done for Ultimates so far. Like if you look at that Ultimates line, it's Hogan, it's Macho, it's Ronda, it's Becky, it's it's Brock and
Roman, Finn,
Shawn,
Warrior,
right? All these people, Mr. T.
Yeah.
Thinking, and granted, they needed to package it with Hogan for a reason, but the fact that I get what will conceivably be the closest to that era Terry Funk, the 89 Terry Funk I'm ever going to get. This is, a little earlier than that, WWF Terry Funk in an Ultimate Edition with the new face scan, with a bunch of heads, with the great looking soft goods. I just am over the moon that we get a Terry Funk treated this way. Fingers crossed we get an ECW Terry Funk treated this way with the ECW belt that Terry Funk wore. Although I did have a little DM conversation with a guy who makes custom belts, and come January he is offering that belt again.
Listen, my dream Terry Funk figure.
The gray with the black from the I Quit match. Right,
yep,
that's the number one. Right, that's the number one. I don't think they're ever going to do it.
Oh, that's my fucking dream.
Me too. But the ECW stripes with the right belt in an Ultimate form with a better face scan than what we've gotten, I think is money. And knowing that Bill McKean is a big Terry Funk fan, that might happen.
Possibility.
But and the packaging is wonderful on that box set. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I have 2. The Terry Funk is my number 1 because I am first and foremost a Terry Funk action figure collector.
Yes, you are. Absolutely.
So it could not be my number 1. Even if it wasn't as beautiful as it is, because it is a fantastic job.
Yeah,
on that.
It's incredible. Yeah.
So, and the Hogan in a set's really nice too. But I just don't need another fucking Hogan.
No,
I would rather the Rip and the War Bonnet over.
That, and dude, that Hollywood Hogan Ultimate from last year.
That Hollywood's amazing.
It's perfect.
The '80s Hogan Ultimate's really good too.
Yeah, it's great.
Comes with the right belt. Like
they perfected it.
They've nailed Hogan. You're not getting that much different out of all these, but Ultimate Terry Funk.
Even though I will buy Desert Storm Hogan when that comes out. I just have to.
Yeah, I'm going to buy Mr. America, but that's not Hulk Hogan. That's
I was going to say, I don't know what dude. All right, real quick. I'm glad you mentioned that. I watched the Ringside Fest video last week, and the one dude that Ravishing Robert from Mattel talks about it, he goes, "Yeah, there's a Mr. America," and he goes, "Yeah, it's his first time in the line, because we don't know who Mr. America was." I was like, "God, yes, I'm so fucking happy about the bit."
It is a bit that even Joe Sposto would approve.
It makes me so happy. All right, so my next category I'll hit you with.
Yeah, buddy.
Top 5 women's wrestlers of 2022.
Okay. Do I have this in order here? No.
Okay.
But I'll adjust the order as we go.
All right.
My number 5 is Xia Li's Instagram. Listen.
You hear the sound of that grease?
Listen. And late comer, and I'm using that in the right term. Making a run for the number 5 spot late in the year is Jade Cargill's Instagram.
Okay.
But Xia Li's Instagram has got me through more months. Number 5, Xia Li's Instagram.
Well, if we're doing that, then for me, it's Gigi Dolan.
Oh, and also, Xia did get to the main roster, and she's got some important storyline. Oh, not important, but involved storyline. They are trying to do things with her.
So your number 5, Xia Li.
My number 5 is Xia Li, specifically her Instagram. Right. Yes.
All right. Well, my number 5 is Jade Cargill.
Okay.
The Year of Jade. We're still rocking.
Absolutely.
Went through a couple different transformations. Smart Mark gone, Stokely in, now Stokely kind of gone.
Yeah.
Had different couple baddies. Do I think she's gotten better in the ring? Yeah. Do I think she's still great? No.
No,
But she doesn't have to be. She's fucking Jade Cargill.
Right. I think she's behind where we all wanted her to be in ring. But she's up front in a lot of other ways, and that's what matters. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, grease it up.
God damn it! I tried not to.
The last 2 Instagram posts, buddy, like
it's just not. I said to you every time. It's not fair.
It's not. It's wild.
So how about your number 4?
My number 4 is Erica Lee.
Okay.
ECWA, a women's Super 8, first woman to hold the title. She held both belts there. Had to relinquish them due to an injury. Showing up on Dark, much like you said in the signings. I think Erica Lee has most, if not all, the tools to get moving. And again, friendish of the show, acquaintance of the show. But Erica is a very nice human being.
Yeah, very cool.
Even more talented wrestler. And to see the success, and while ECWA does not mean as much as it once did, it is still a remarkable thing to have on your resume.
Sure. Especially
when you're breaking sort of a glass ceiling like that in anywhere. But winning ECWA tournaments, the Super 8s are, to me, a guy who got into indie wrestling in the late 90s, early 2000s, that Super 8 tournament means a fucking lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so she's my number 4. I think Erica is super talented and has the entire world in front of her.
All right, I can rock with that. My number 4 is Hikaru Shida.
Ooh.
She had to take a bit of a backseat this year to some other names in AEW. But once she came back, I feel like she's been super invigorated in the ring.
Yeah.
Looks great. Both literally and,
Sure.
whatever.
Grease it up.
God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Had probably the best AEW women's match so far, her and Jamie Hayter.
Yes. One of the best AEW matches, the best women's match.
Yeah. Sure. And yeah, I just think that she's so valuable to that company.
She's the anchor of that division.
You could plug her in against whoever, and it's going to be. She got a good match out of the Bunny.
Dare I say she's the ace of that women's division?
More on that later.
Okay.
So yeah, my number 4 was Hikaru Shida.
Okay, I like it. Surprisingly, not on my list. A little mad that I didn't put her on my list, but mainly because I think she has had that bit of a backseat. My number 3 is Willow Nightingale.
That's also my number 3 is Willow Nightingale.
Willow is fantastic. I think we were all, for the last year or two, just waiting for that call on Willow. If you've seen her wrestle once, you get it. That's the power of Willow. It's really interesting. It's an interesting study in wrestling because it really just takes once.
That's it.
The magnetic personality, very talented in the ring. Is the Lex Luger, the total package.
Yeah.
All around.
She has the NXT Bayley gene.
Yes. Right.
Kid magnet.
Right. Absolutely.
I say the John Cena effect, the Orange Cassidy effect.
Yeah. Right.
You're immediately drawn to them. The kids fucking love them.
Yeah.
Willow. Yeah, I agree though. Willow. It was nice that we were all kind of hanging out after the LVAC show where she got signed. That was cool.
Being able to show that around amongst people who knew her.
Yeah, that was real
who know
cool.
her. Just waiting. We were all waiting, holding our breath for this to happen, and as it happened, and then see her sort of get put where she's been put is super fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Still, goddamn it, if you were going to pull that trigger, she should have beat Jade. I could still make the argument that she should still beat Jade.
Yep.
But I don't know they're going in that direction. But it's really is a joy to see her on TV every week.
I'm 100% with you, man. That's my number 3 as well.
Okay, so you want me to do my number 2?
Yep.
My number 2 is Bianca Belair.
That's also my number 2. We're going to have the same fucking list. Yep. I know our top 3.
Yeah. So Bianca is a ridiculous star.
Unreal.
Bianca also, in a different way than Willow, but Bianca also, the first time you see Bianca, you're like, whoa.
Star quality, yep.
Star quality like crazy. The hair, the long hair is the thing that stands out. You know,
the gear,
everybody on the list, the gear. She's gorgeous. And I don't love talking about when we joke the grease and all that sort of stuff, but it is a very important factor in certain areas of women's professional wrestling. It certainly helps. But on top of her game, sort of push through the downs, push through a lot of shit handed her way from booking that wasn't the best.
Yep.
And to be where she is, to be the star that she is, to hear the pops that she gets. And I don't even watch WWE that fucking much, but Bianca, they tweet about her. She's tweeting about herself. She's out there. She's visible. She's fucking fantastic. She's a star. And sort of the generation after the Horsewomen, and the Horsewomen are still hanging around. But Bianca has elevated to, if not past some of their levels, looking at you, Charlotte. Bianca fucking rules.
To look at, I'd love to do like a case study. Mm-hmm. To see what happened to her at SummerSlam 2021 when Becky came back and she got fucking squashed.
Yes.
To where she came a year later at SummerSlam beating Becky. Mm-hmm. Insane. Yep. What a fucking ride.
Yep, to take what's probably the worst possible run sheet you can see and be like, oh, this is okay, great.
Yeah.
And then to push through it and become what she is it's amazing.
Yeah. And all the respect in the world for Bianca. She's fucking
Bianca
great.
Rules.
Hey, number one.
Buzz, baby.
Bzz.
That's just what it is. This is solidly the most solid answer of any of these lists.
So on my way up here, I was listening to a podcast called Hard War. Uh-huh. Two dudes one of the guys from God's Hate, one of the guys from Harm's Way. Mm-hmm. Hardcore podcast, but they're both super into wrestling. And they did like a year end, and one of the questions was favorite wrestler in AEW, and the one dude called just goes, Jamie Hayter, brother.
Yeah.
It's Jamie Hayter. It's fucking Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
What a meteoric rise. Yep. Another one that kind of overcame a little bit of a stop-start.
Absolutely.
With the whole Brit shit.
Yep.
Being there to see her win that title was fucking awesome.
The fact
Hayter Hive is going strong.
The fact that she became such a star, and again, very attractive lady, but watching her in ring do the things she did over the last year is super impressive. For her to be able to use that momentum to become a star and build a character and become so believable and so ready to be in this spot that Britt takes the seat behind her with no argument, doesn't feel unnatural. It's just Britt seconds her now. Doesn't mean that Britt's not the leader of this thing, but Hayter is convincing and ready, and people were waiting for it. It's the absolute right thing to do. Yeah. This is my number one men's was also rock solid. I knew immediately who my number one was. But Hayter is as rock solid as a pick at number one. There was no question. There was I can flip the order around on anybody else.
It's Hayter.
Hayter. All the way. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
She's just the all around most one of if not the most impressive wrestler in AEW. Just all around. And I think a lot of people missed on her because when she first sort of showed up in AEW, she's always looked great, but she had the straight hair with the one color and the other. Yeah. And, Bruce Pritchard would probably tell her she's 20 pounds or 30 pounds overweight. Yeah. And she's always looked great. But when she got that sort of glam up, it helps push her to the front. And then you see, I remember talking about her catching a crossbody for the first time. Holy shit. And just seeing her evolve and grow from there. Yeah. Hayter in ring, like we just said, one of the best women's match, one of the best AEW women's match, or AEW matches overall. Yeah. It's Hayter. It's just what it is.
Absolutely, for sure, it's Jamie Hayter.
And if you, I will allow argument for any other of my decisions, but I will not allow argument for number one Jamie Hayter.
They say don't die on every hill. I'll die on.
I'll die in the hive. Absolutely.
Buzz. All right, so let's go to top 5 men's wrestlers of 2022.
All right,
this is where I think things are going to be very interesting.
Yes.
If you want to kick it off with your number 5.
My number 5, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
If you have an honorable mention,
I have an honorable mention.
Okay.
Because hasn't been involved yet. I'm going to guess he makes my list for 2023, but my honorable mention is Takeshita.
Okay.
I think they're still kind of dropping the ball with Takeshita because he's super hot and they should be doing more with him, but he is getting his work in elsewhere. But at the end of 2023, he's going to be in, really close to the top of this list, I have a feeling.
So my honorable mention.
Okay.
Eddie Kingston.
Okay.
That's my honorable mention.
Okay. I like it. Not on my list at all.
Getting to see him work Akiyama was like a fucking fever dream.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to see him work Ishii was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
His work in New Japan I thought was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
A guy that I feel like got cut off at the fucking knees.
Yep. Why he's not on my list.
And through no fault of his own.
That's
why I want to put him on my top 5, but he's an honorable mention for
top
me.
5 guy I've had the most fun watching this year.
Yes.
But as far as stuff that's happened through no fault of his own, he was kneecapped a little bit.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead, number 5.
My number 5, Charles Montgomery Punk.
Interesting.
Brawl out aside, Punk had an incredible year. And I can't deny it as much as I dislike him. Should he be higher on the list? Probably. But, still not his biggest fan. But number 5, for sure, he deserves to be on the list. He may or may not show up on another list that we're going to talk about. Number 5 is Punk. You can't deny the year he had. The dude got his chocolate bunny back, and then ended his year by allegedly knocking out one of the Young Bucks. How do you not make a top 5 list of life?
Hall of Fame for me.
He should be a top 5 for People's Magazine's Person of the Year for that alone. But yeah, you can't deny the year he had. You can't deny the matches he had. The dog collar with MJF, the tag matches with FTR. You can't deny what he's been doing. So that's he's my number 5.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My number 5.
Mm-hmm.
William Ospreay.
Oh, okay.
I think
a shock to no one not on my list.
He had one of the best in-ring years of a lot of people in a long time.
Okay.
I feel like he helped carry New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I loved before Forbidden Door when he had that interview and he said, I don't want to face one of the so-called top guys in AEW. Give me Orange Cassidy for 10 minutes and watch us blow the fucking rough this place.
Right.
Give me Jungle Boy. Like, he's a young enough guy where it's like, he's got the name where he doesn't necessarily know. That was a lot of people's thoughts was he doesn't need to like wrestle a guy like an Orange Cassidy.
Sure.
But the fact that he has enough sense to be like, no, I know how fucking good he is.
Yeah.
And I know how good I am. The matches he had with Zack Sabre Jr. throughout the New Japan Cup, his G1 run I thought was fucking incredible. Now starting 2023 off, even look at the matches him and Ozzy open against the Elite, fuck man, they tore the house down
for sure.
My number 5 is Will Ospreay.
Okay, all right. My number 4 is It's an interesting reason. I think this guy, a lot of people thought that he was washed up, that his best years are behind him, and maybe they are.
Jeff Jarrett.
No. Fuck. Maybe in 2023.
Ooh.
But a guy who I think people think that way, and maybe they're not completely wrong, but I think this guy proved with, I would say, at least 3 5-star matches this year. Tomohiro Ishii.
Okay.
Is Ishii's best years behind him? Yeah. But a lot of people wrote him off. And I still think he deserves an IWGP title run. I still think he's completely believable at that.
Absolutely.
But the exposure that he got in the US this year is great.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he had that match against Tana, that match against Eddie, a match against Jericho.
Incredible.
Those right there are at least 3, to me, 5-star matches in the course of the year. I could look through Shingo. He had a great one with Ospreay. he's had some really good fucking matches this
Yeah.
year. For a guy that everybody's like, his style's boring. He's maybe not who he was. We're winding down.
People are out of your minds.
You're out of your minds, and the exposure that he got in the U.S. this year makes me so happy. We've said it before; it's no surprise to you. He remains my favorite dude in Japan. I love him so very much, and to see him have these matches, and to see to be there live for Eddie and him in DC,
that was crazy.
Which was also some kind of, sort of, somehow weirdly, the beginning of Eddie's journey to Akiyama.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It was just really great and really cool, and we got to watch a lot of really cool fucking wrestling this year.
Yeah, we did.
And I was really glad that we were there for that one. So my number 4 is Big Tom, the Stone Pitbull himself, Tomohiro Ishii.
All right. So my number 4 is Phil from Chicago.
Okay.
It is CM Punk.
Yeah.
A lot of points you made are exactly how I feel. I still think the MJF story is the best story AEW's ever done, and nothing's even come close to touching it. That entrance at that pay-per-view, when he busted out AFI and the gym shorts and the straight edge jacket, fuck, man. That was the coolest shit ever. We're sitting here on your couch, fucking Doug popped, Joe popped. We were just all of us like, this is so cool.
Right.
It's a shame how things worked out. I still think he had a nice program with Moxley. The Hangman stuff, whatever. It's just I'm still up in the air on that shit. But yeah, I think it might have been 2022 still. It was the promo with MJF, MJF, will you be my Valentine? Fuck, that's one of the coolest promos he's ever cut. After MJF busted him up, going back and cutting the old Ring of Honor, I will become a monster to fight the monster of the world promo. It's some people might look at it as rehash. I look at it as, no, this is the shit that made him. We're just putting it on a grand stage for the first time.
Right.
And yeah, I love Punk. I'm a kind of a bit of a Phil apologist. But yeah, I'll put him at number 4.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. My number 3, I have him here listed as my number 2, but I'm shifting him down to my number 3 because I realized the mistake I made.
Booking on the fly, brother.
The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
All right.
Again, one of my old favorites, but a guy who is clearly having fun.
Yeah.
Who is such a joy to see have fun. A guy who, years ago now came back from really bad injury and whatever, but a guy who's very open with, I don't need a title. I'm not interested in that. Let's have fun. Let's wrestle. Let's teach. I think he's out there having banger opening matches on Dynamite every week and just
for no reason.
Right. Just for fun and just saying doing follow that, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And by doing that, I think he's upping the rest of these shows. I think when you have to follow Bryan Danielson, you're like, shit. All right, well,
there's a certain level of
walk through this
in-ring respect that you have to have when you're there with Bryan Danielson.
Absolutely. And the man is, and will always be my favorite Ring of Honor champion. The man who I fell in love with, who was my favorite wrestler in the early 2000s. To see him have the run that he's had since, then go down with an injury so sort of tragically, and come back and just have a run where he's having fun and having amazing matches, or is really, really just so much fun for me. And I think he makes everybody he wrestles look better. And I think he's a credit to AEW as much as someone like Chris Jericho is, as much as I don't want to say it. But these are two guys who don't need to be doing anything else in wrestling that they don't want to. And maybe Dragon's a little less attach myself to the next star. But he doesn't need to be out there having showcase matches with Ethan Page on a Dynamite.
Sure.
But he is, because he wants to and he's having fun. And that puts him on my list strongly at number 3.
Well, I feel like a dummy because he's not on my list. But that's all right. My number 3 is the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada.
Okay.
New Japan, as you often say, New Japan goes as Okada goes.
Yes, absolutely.
I thought he had a great year. Getting to see him in person again was really cool. You got to see him for the first time. And like I said to you, man, when that dude enters the building, energy just fucking changes.
He had the privilege of tagging with Eddie Kingston.
He did. See that? I love Okada. Yeah. He's one of my all-time favorites. He won the G1, was his third year in a row winning it?
I think so, yeah.
Has it ever been done before?
Yeah.
Was it Tenzon that won 3
might have
years
been
in a row?
I think Tenzon's won 3, but not 3 in a row or something like that.
That's a big fucking deal.
Huge. Yep.
He's got Jay White on the 4th for that IWGP Heavyweight title.
It's his time of year. It
is. This is where he shines.
Right.
And, so my number 3... Kazuchika Okada.
When Okada is all said and done, he's going to have I don't know that there's ever going to be a guy sustained at the top as long as him other than like Hogan. Just sustained at the top.
Yep, I agree.
Because he's been the top of that company for at least 5 years now, if not longer.
Oh, longer.
And he's going to have at least another 10 as the number one guy.
I would say he's had probably 10 years. 10 years because he's been the Rainmaker for 10 years.
Right. He's going to be the number one dude for until he decides he wants to walk away.
There it is. Until he decides not to.
And that's a remarkable thing.
Yeah.
All right. My number 2. I know we said wrestlers. This is a tag team. This might be your number 2 also. FTR.
Hunter. How the fuck could it not be, man?
There's only one person that could beat FTR's run this year, and both of us will talk about that in a second. But FTR's run it
was a fucking god tier run.
It's ludicrous.
2022 is a god tier year for FTR.
They started the year maybe as one of them being whiny little bitches, and basically turned everybody I know onto their side.
Yeah, everyone.
I think we were hesitant, like other people they're really good in ring, but God, are they annoying in person. They rightfully somehow rehab that image, although I worry for Bald with this podcast where he's gonna drop himself back down. But those guys sign a blank check when they're available, like next year. Yeah. Whatever they want to do.
They can go.
They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. But their year has been phenomenal from their matches with Punk and doing all that stuff, the Briscoes stuff,
the Briscoe trilogy, the
IWGP stuff, the Aussie Open stuff. Just everywhere they go, they've had banger matches with every single fucking person. Bald just wrestled with a broken ass against the Ass Boys.
Even look at the singles your Bald had.
Right? Yeah, crazy.
Holy shit!
And so they just lost the AAA title.
Yep.
So did Sammy and Tay because they didn't have a single match there.
Tay got double booked, brother.
Yeah. But they're gonna lose. Bishamon's gonna beat them at Wrestle Kingdom. Just what it is.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe they'll decide to spend more time there. Who knows? Shock the world. But their run as a tag team is unmatched this year.
Yeah. There hasn't been like a top tier tag team like this, I feel, in a long time. As much as people try to tell you like the Usos are better, and listen, I like the Usos just fine. I think they're fun. You're not at FTR's level. They just the year they had was just some of the most wild shit.
Yeah, the only other tag team that impressed me almost as much was the Acclaim to watch them have their come up.
I agree with that.
They're not out there doing what FTR's doing.
No, they're a different type of entertaining. Number 1,
to be selfless in selfish times.
Some people say they're Terry Funk and Harley Race.
Yeah,
others just are.
There was no other option. It's Jon Moxley.
100%.
Mox has had the year we all waited for him to have. His AEW run has been what we waited for him to have. Especially after being a dude in like a gas mask and a fucking fur coat. Yeah. But this year, his title run was fantastic. He was given nothing to eat but shit.
His redemption
at every turn
of a human being.
Right.
Like,
rehab, it seems forever ago, but that was the beginning of this year. Yeah. Coming back from that, having a kid, I think that might have been this year, but it might have been the end of last year. But just everything about him this year has been so phenomenal.
Yeah.
The just shit sandwich after shit sandwich of political wrestling bullshit that he had been fed. that he ate happily and turned it around.
Just saving that AEW's ass over and over again.
A lesser businessman and a lesser lover of professional wrestling would have just said, "Fuck it, I'm going on vacation. Figure it out without me."
You know what he does? He doubles down, signs a 5-year deal, and takes on a role as a fucking coach.
He's having great matches. He bleeds in every single one of them, which gets you extra fucking points in my book. He is the wrestler of the year.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that both of us don't have Roman Reigns on our list. I think Roman's run is great, but Roman's not doing a ton.
It's different.
Yeah.
Somebody compared it the other day. I saw a graphic of like, he's coming up on CM Punk's like days as champion.
Yeah.
And it's like CM Punk had over 100 more defenses than Reigns did.
Right.
And I get it, like, you know, Tribal Chief, keep the champ special.
WWE's a wildly different company. They're barely wrestling at this point. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
But Mox is out there wrestling. Another guy, like I said, with Danielson, having fun. Doesn't even doing what he's doing.
And I even like think at that point, like, it could have been like a Sami Zayn too.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. Mox is just like, just for what he's fucking done for wrestling, you know?
For that company, for himself, for wrestling, he has made seemingly most of, if not all, the right choices, and has been rewarded nicely in, I'm sure, paychecks, and also in gratitude, and if it exists, fucking karma, because that dude deserves it all.
Yeah, man.
And, you know, he has his wife traveling with him now. His hot wife traveling with him now. He just another dude out there having fun, wrestling great fucking matches, bleeding all over the place, and doing it the fucking right way.
Yeah, Mox, his year was just fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I love the guy. I've loved him forever. But this year really, like, put it over the top.
And
what I had fun this year was watching, like, you be like, yeah, he's the fucking guy.
I always liked him.
Yeah.
But, like, I love him.
Yeah.
Now. And, and we say the Terry Funk and the Harley Race, there's people saying they are and people who are. And that's a really big thing. And, is he actually Terry or Harley? He's got a lot of years left in this business to reach that level. But what we mean is, like,
the mentality, the approach.
A lot of people will stand backstage or go on social media and talk about the things they're going to do for the business and the things they'll do for the company and how great they are and what should be done and what shouldn't be done and what they'll handle and what they won't handle. And there's other guys that shut their fucking mouths and do it.
Yep.
And they lead by example and they show you who they are and what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And that's Moxley to a T.
Oh, 100%, man. He saved that company's ass more times this year. It's just...
in a year when the a group of executive vice presidents caused one of the biggest wrestling shitstorms in the history of the business, Jon Moxley, lowly professional wrestler, has put that company on his back and said, "No, fuck you. We're bleeding our way through this."
Yeah.
I love him for it.
God,
I really do.
It makes me so happy.
I really do.
All right. Well, there's 3 categories left.
There are.
So this one I feel is going to be pretty obvious,
Okay.
but I'd like to talk about it anyway.
Okay.
Your 3 biggest stories from professional wrestling in 2022.
Okay. I think we're going to share on some of these. I don't think all of them.
2 out of 3, I feel.
Yeah. My number 3 is, and listen, this year was full of a lot of fucking stories.
Oh, insane
wild shit happening. We don't mean storylines. We mean stories.
Real shit.
My number 3 is Sasha and Naomi walkout.
That's mine too.
Is it?
We're gonna match.
It's huge.
Yeah. It's a dude.
It's huge.
I was thinking about it today when I was kind of like reading over everything again. That's a big fucking deal, man.
I think it's getting overshadowed because of the crazy year that we had.
Yeah,
it's huge. Like, I love that Stone Cold Steve Austin came back at WrestleMania and had a great match. That was awesome.
One of the best things ever.
Kevin Owens was the right guy to do it. That was fucking great. I had so much fun. It does not touch my top 3.
No. It's scary, dude. Like, you look at that night and, I wasn't watching Raw that night. I don't think you were watching Raw that night. And all of a sudden, Twitter turned into like a shitstorm over this. And WWE addressed it on Twitter. Then they go on the air and address it and call them unprofessional for walking out. And you're thinking, what the fuck is going on? Like, what weird storyline are they doing? And then it just comes out like, no, this is legit. They fucking left.
Yeah.
Like, they talked to Vince and said, this fucking sucks, we're out of here.
Right. It would be as massive. So if they end back, if she and Naomi end back up at the WWE, fine. Because so much in the fucking wrestling world has changed.
Yeah.
But even if they were already back, this is still the number 3 biggest story.
Yeah.
To have the balls to say, we're being mistreated. I'm as good as anybody else that you have. You're not treating me like that. In some ways, you're treating me worse.
Yep.
I know my value. I'm going to walk.
Yeah.
Do something about it.
This creative doesn't make fucking sense.
And to add on to the power of this story, the fact that conceivably in less than a week she's going to be in fucking New Japan.
Like, New Japan and AEW.
Right, and AEW is insane.
Yeah.
Because New Japan historically did not cross over women's wrestlers. That's a thing this year that started.
I was saying that's a big thing too now, is they're crossing over.
The year they decide to do that, there's women's matches on Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Fucking Sasha Banks is going to be there, even if it's a fucking one-off.
Yep.
It's huge. And if she goes to AEW, it's bigger. If she goes back to WWE, I hope she gets all the fucking money in the world.
I do too.
But people want to say that Sasha isn't that fucking good. People have taken very quickly to slandering Sasha about her in-ring ability and her talent. And
she's in a Star Wars.
Right. She's in a fucking... She doesn't even have to work ever again.
No, she's in a Star Wars.
She has a Star Wars action figure she's made.
Yep.
If she wants to pursue acting, whatever it is that she wants to do, she absolutely has it. Yeah. That is my number 3. It is...
Same, dude.
It is... In a different year of professional wrestling, this is hands down the biggest story.
It's a big
of her telling
deal,
Vince
dude.
McMahon to go fuck himself.
Yeah,
and literally,
like her and Naomi just saying, you know what, we don't fucking need this.
And who knows where Naomi's going to land? I hope that Sasha is taking her and involving her. Because
I hope so too.
Naomi had her back.
Yeah,
I understand Naomi doesn't have a draw to New Japan. I get it. I would hope if AEW is where they end up, they both end up there. I think Naomi's talented.
I do too.
I don't think she's as talented, but she has other assets that she can bring to the company. And yes, I meant that. God damn it. But yeah, that's number 3.
Yeah.
Number 2.
I wonder. It has to be.
It's Brawl Out.
100%.
We all know the biggest
We were just
story.
fucking still talking about it today.
Right, exactly. It is one of the biggest backstage shit shows in the history of professional wrestling.
That night was like such a fucked up collapse.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm driving home from your house and you're like, dude, throw it on.
Right.
Like
it's like if somebody had security footage of when Mr. Wonderful beat the shit out of Vader in shower shoes.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
It's that big. It's what could have been that big of a wrestling backstage legend, except we essentially watched it play out.
Yeah, we just didn't see one part of it. That's it.
And while saving a dog with a man's name, a man with a dog's name bit someone. So it's the best. We've talked about it ad nauseum here. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
The number 1 story is quite possibly the biggest story in wrestling ever. It feels like decades ago at this point, but nothing can overshadow the fact that Vince McMahon got.
Vince got.
He did it to himself.
Yeah.
He can be as delusional as he wants and thinking he can come back. It ain't gonna happen. Sayonara. Vince was doing a lot of shitty things and was I'm not gonna say actively because I think he honestly thought he was right in everything. So, he wasn't purposely trying to tank that company, but he was hurting that company more than anything else.
Yeah.
And whether the conspiracy theories are true, and maybe they are, and they sure as hell are fun to believe that it was a scheme by family members.
May have planted that story out there.
Yeah. But Vince getting ousted from his company.
It's just insane.
It
was one of those
people are going to be writing books about this and doing documentaries on it for 100 years.
Definitely thought he won't leave until he's dead.
Right. Absolutely.
And that didn't happen.
He
and
did it to himself.
Kind of wild, you know. Even thinking we're going on 5-6 months of it now that he's gone.
Yep. Right.
What a wild situation.
The ultimate. Oh, what are these? The consequences to my actions? Whoops.
The guy that you always thought was untouchable.
Right. I mean, the literal face of professional wrestling for the last 50 years. Like, not that long, but like since the 80s, everybody knows Vince. Yeah. Everybody knows Vince McMahon. Doesn't matter if you like wrestling or not. Everybody knows Vince McMahon. Yeah. So it's just outright the biggest story. It's just completely what it is.
So with that, leading into your top 3 predictions for 2023.
Okay. So I have, let me just lead up. This isn't an honorable mention. This is an idea that I had that isn't a prediction because I have a different prediction, but this is something I'd really like to see. So I don't think this is going to happen. But what I would like to see, and then I'll get into my third pick, is I thought of this and I thought it'd be a lot of fun. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston with a tag title run.
Okay.
Is that on your list?
No.
Oh.
I have a variation of something involving the two.
It'd be a ton of fun. Like, remember how fun it was when they stole the Young Bucks' shoes and shit?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I think
that time when they posed in the ring with Sting and they were all fucking broing out. Right. It was so cool.
I think if you could do that, and if there's not a spot for Eddie anywhere else, I think that's a really good spot for both of them. I think you could have a lot of fun, have them just bleeding and kicking ass as a tag team all over the place. If Blackpool Combat ends up falling apart, doesn't look like it's going to. But anyway, that's just what I want to see happen. My number 3 prediction is that Sami Zayn beats Roman for the title.
Okay.
I know we've talked about it on here. I know it's basically been squashed as that's not going to happen. But still, wishful thinking to me, that is the logical conclusion to this storyline.
I'd love it.
If you can't elevate Sami to that level out of this program, you never will. And I think that's what I would love to see. I think that's the most interesting way.
Yeah, it makes the most sense.
It doesn't make the most like marquee, put it on a billboard, run it on ESPN way, but from a wrestling standpoint, it makes the most sense.
It pays off your wrestling fans, your core audience.
Yes.
Stop trying to reach for the ESPN Sports Center moment.
Right.
Give wrestling fans, reward wrestling fans for being wrestling fans.
And you have all these clips of Roman smirking over his shoulder, and everybody picks that up and runs with it, and they're like, "Oh, Roman's got something planned, and Roman's doing this. It's not what it appears. He doesn't love Sami as much as he thinks." Well, the ultimate end to this is that he ain't tricking Sami.
Yeah.
Sammy's waiting for it.
Yep.
Sami knows it's going to happen, and he'll get the better of Roman because Roman thinks Sami doesn't think any wiser.
Yeah.
And so that's my number 3.
All right. So my number 3 is going to tie into my number 2.
Okay.
So I'm going to do both.
Sure.
My number 3 is Eddie Kingston wins the AEW title at Grand Slam this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be one of the biggest fucking moments.
When's Grand Slam?
I don't know, 6 months or so from now, I think. I think it's like a June show, maybe July show, maybe an August show, I don't know. Hometown.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like what fucking more does he have to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I know the big talk is, well, he doesn't care about it. Like, maybe that's not important to him.
Yeah.
It's important to me, goddammit.
He said he wants to.
Like I know he said, oh, maybe I'll just wrestle Kenta on a fucking pre-show. That'd be fun, you know? No. Eddie more than deserves this fucking title.
I see what you did there.
He deserves this shit, man.
Yeah.
And I think it would be such an emotional moment for him to win this fucking title.
Okay. Against who?
Whoever. I don't give a fuck who has the belt at the time. If it's MJF, it's MJF.
Okay.
I haven't beat MJF in New York City.
That's
insane.
That's my number 2.
Okay.
My number 2 is Eddie beating MJF for the title. Doesn't matter where. But I think MJF has a good long run and avoids Eddie, and Eddie shows up, and it's time to fucking go.
So here's where my number 2 ties in.
Yeah.
They teased something on AEW this week.
Uh-huh.
With the House of Black trying to say, maybe Eddie, the people you have closest to you, may not really have your back.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie kind of was like questioning Ortiz a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You could have Ortiz turn on Eddie.
Okay.
You could have Eddie and Ortiz feud for a little bit. When Eddie's down and out and Eddie's got nobody left, who comes to get his back? Jon Moxley.
Okay.
Who's the guy who's always had Eddie's back? Jon Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the guy that's going to be in Eddie's corner when Eddie wins the title? Jon Moxley. Who's going to be the guy that stabs Eddie in the back and turns fucking heel for that belt? Jon Moxley.
Okay.
I think Mox is going to turn heel this year. And I would fucking love that exact situation to happen.
There's almost no other way for it to happen. He's beloved by too many people right now. I don't know that there's anybody that he could turn on. Like, I don't know that there's anything he can do other than stabbing gigantic babyface Eddie Kingston.
And that's what I mean.
Yeah.
If you look at Moxley a little bit, that'd be like a fucking riot.
They're going to have to call an ambulance and sneak Mox out of New York if that happens.
When I say turn his back, I mean really beat the fuck out of Eddie.
Right.
It has, like, I don't know, if I'm sitting there and I'm Tony Khan and I'm booking 6 months out, have that written in. I think it would be
I think that's great.
Fucking insane.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Mox versus Takeshita, Mox was getting some booze. Look at Mox MJF at Full Gear. That was an MJF crowd. Mox is the guy, and they've even kind of like talked about it on TV a little bit. Like during one of his matches, he don't give a fuck if you like him or not. He's there to beat your ass and win. That's all he wants.
Yeah.
And to see like an actual heel Jon Moxley on main television, which they have not done yet in AEW. They teased it before he went to rehab.
Yeah.
He was starting to turn a little bit, remember?
Yeah.
But to see him, pick up Eddie when Eddie's at his lowest, when Eddie's got nobody left, to encourage Eddie, to tell him you can fucking do this, and then finally when it's done, man, the fucking turn would be so insane, dude.
For sure.
Especially if you do it at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York.
Yeah.
Eddie's fucking emotional, wins the belt, and you're the only guy you have left.
Right.
Fuck you. It'd be insane.
And the thing is, with that, if for whatever reason they're worried about Eddie being able to sustain a run on top, he doesn't have to have it for long.
He doesn't.
He doesn't need it.
Nope. You could have...
Give him the moment and have Mox take it away. Is really
that's like
yeah.
I think that's where I look at it as it's part fantasy booking, but Eddie more than deserves that fucking title. That crowd loves Eddie so much still, and he fucking earned it, and he deserves it.
Yeah,
and I want to see a Mox heel run.
Yeah,
I think it's time. Thank you for everything you did for us. There's nobody that could boo you in 2022.
Right,
2023. Let's take that character and flip it on its fucking head a little bit.
It.
Oh, it'd be so good.
I like it.
All right. You go now.
Right.
So I don't know what number you're on.
My number one. Because my number 2 is Eddie Kingston beats MJF for the title.
Okay. I think our number ones are going to be very similar.
My number one is an acronym on AEW TV gets a slightly new meaning.
Okay.
What you may have called, or other people may have called, That Bitch Show.
Okay.
The TBS Strapola.
Okay.
In 2023, after Jade hits those 50 wins, becomes The Boss's Show.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. All right. I can get down with that.
Sasha Banks comes to AEW. Does not necessarily start out hunting the main title.
Yep.
Because I think she overshadows too many people in that group.
Yeah.
I think that Sasha goes after Jade. Because Jade loses nothing by losing to Sasha. Jade can transition into the main picture. And Sasha has a title that anchors to a TV show. You could put Sasha on fucking Rampage wherever you want her, and people will tune in, and you have the Boss Show with the TBS strap. That's my number one.
I can get down with that. That's cool.
I think after 50, that's it for Jade. And I think just the two personalities clashing between Jade and Sasha would be incredible.
It'd be fun television.
And I think that's a lot of fun. I think the TBS, I don't know if they could use the Boss. I'm sure they can figure it out. But I that's my number one. I think that would be a lot of fun. And conceivably right now, the only thing that keeps Jade on top while losing. because nobody in that company can argue that they shouldn't lose to Sasha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and if you put her in there as the main women's title, then you have a hard time finding reasonable challengers.
Yeah.
While I think you can do the TBS title, and she can have a run like Sasha. She can wrestle anybody, or like Jade. She can wrestle anybody, or you can throw Britt in there for a one-off or whatever you want to do. But I think that's the way to do it.
I can get down with that.
If maybe you're not super into the two titles in the women's division and you want to do, let's say, a women's tag title instead of this mid-card title, I think you can use Sasha to combine the titles.
I like that. I can get down with that.
But that's not part of my prediction. Just Sasha beating Jade to become the boss show.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
So my number one prediction, CM Punk will return
Ooh.
to professional wrestling. I don't
Is he coming to
think
Smash Master?
I don't think, in my heart of hearts,
He's going to wrestle Cheeseburger at LVAC.
I mean,
I would fucking love that.
Great. Oh man, having Joe call a Punk match would be hilarious. In 2023, oh god, it'd be so great.
If CM Punk shows up at an LVAC show, I'm going to make April come recreate her CM Punk sign and show up.
I'm just going to run at the microphone and Joe's on commentary and just scream Billy Jack Whitmer, the Hillbilly Jesus. CM Punk's going to return to pro wrestling.
Okay.
I would love for it to be AEW.
Yeah.
I would love for... God, there's so much fucking money you can make.
Uh-huh.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think a box that he has unchecked is New Japan.
That would be where I would place him.
The
most potential for money, the protection from the drama, and the matchups.
I think he can go there and dominate.
Yeah.
And you're only going to get more eyes on New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I understand New Japan. You love your relationship with AEW.
Sure.
You got to look out for number one, though.
Mm-hmm.
And if for whatever fucking reason you have a chance to bring in Phil, you do it.
Well, if you can main event some big time Japanese shows with Jericho going over there, there's three off the top of my head right now are immediate main eventers bringing in a ton of money in any venue you want to put them in. And Punk makes probably the same amount of money per match that this whole AEW contract was worth. And it's Okada, Naito, and Ospreay.
Immediately. Yep. Immediately.
Line them up.
Yep. Make it happen.
Fourth, Taguchi, but that's for another day.
I would say Tanahashi, too.
Well, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what it was supposed to
be. I
be.
would put Tana over Ospreay only because Ospreay might be a little too young. Might be a little too quick.
I would be a little too spry.
They might get
Phil.
That might try to break down into a shoot if Punk gets outpaced a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's put him in there with Tana.
I can, if it's not New Japan.
Yeah.
Money fucking talks, brother.
Sure does.
Maybe part-time WWE guy.
Listen, he ain't gonna be the first guy to say he's never going back to WWE and taking a paycheck to go directly back to the WWE.
Yeah. I could see him go there. I don't know what kind of run he'll have.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting, like FTR Ball talked about this week on his podcast. Phil didn't want the belt.
Mm-hmm.
He understood, but he didn't want it. He said he just wanted to have fun. And it's kind of like that Danielson thing, too, where it's like, I don't want the belt. Right. I don't need it. Right. Like, let me just have fun.
Company needed it.
And hey, and like Phil said, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get it. We're going to do this. But, I think by the end of the year, you will see CM Punk back in a wrestling ring.
Okay. I like it.
I just don't know where.
Okay. I'm here for it.
So
we'll see.
All right, last category, sir.
This is it.
My favorite part of wrestling.
Okay.
Your favorite part of wrestling.
Is it?
It should be.
Okay.
The matches.
Top 5 matches.
So, all right, I have top 5 matches. I went out of my way, though, to give 3 honorable mentions.
Okay.
Because maybe 3 out of my top 5 are the same matchup.
Okay.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
I don't.
Okay.
There is. I'll run. I'll do my honorable mentions. Your honorable mentions, and we'll run. Yep. All right. I'll 2 off the top of my head right now. OC Will Ospreay.
Okay.
Was a fantastic match on a fantastic card, and Eddie Ishii from DC.
Yeah.
Also, the AEW match they had was also very good. But Eddie Ishii in DC was fucking fantastic. Those
Yeah.
are my honorable mentions. The Eddie Ishii makes honorable mention for a very specific reason. It's not in my top 5 that we'll discuss shortly. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I have 3 honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is October 1st, New Japan Royal Quest 2, FTR versus Aussie Open.
Okay.
FTR's kind of first or second real New Japan match.
Yeah.
You know, they built the house kind of on FTR Aussie Open. That match was fucking incredible. I thought it's 2 of probably the top 5 tag teams in the world going at it right now.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was absolutely incredible. Another honorable mention I have, this is from a company that I kind of went out of my way to pay more attention to this year.
Okay.
September 25th, DDT's Who's Gonna Top? That's the name of the card. It was the champ, the KOD champion, Kazusada Higuchi, versus Takeshita. The match, it's like maybe 15 minutes. This was, I believe, Takeshi's last match before coming back over to the States. If you've paid attention to any DDT at all this year, you know Higuchi is kind of the man right now.
Sure.
Has like that old school look. Big guy, can fucking go.
Yeah.
I love this match, and paying more attention to DDT this year, it made me very happy seeing kind of his rise.
Good.
Do I think he's the next big thing in Japan? Maybe. We'll see. I heard there was a really good match today on the Stardom card that people were like, "Hey, might have stole like match of the year contender," but I just didn't have time to watch it.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing about doing these lists is like it's only what we watch. So like, there's plenty of other wrestling out there that we don't get time to watch. Stardom is supposed to be crazy.
Yeah,
we haven't watched a ton of New Japan at least the back half of this year.
Yeah,
we fell off of Noah. Like shit.
Life happened,
but, right? But
and then my last honorable mention from the January 5th episode of AEW Dynamite. Hangman Adam Page versus the American Dragon Bryan Danielson.
All right.
This is the one where they both bled buckets.
I have that as 5 stars on my list.
It was extra violent. Yeah. Haven't seen that level of violence in like an American television match in a long time. I loved it.
Yeah.
You know, at the beginning of the year, I'm like, how the fuck is this going to get topped?
Right.
And it didn't make my top 5 for the year, but it was one of them matches that like I kind of went back and I watched it in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It holds up.
Okay.
It fucking holds up, man. I'd go out of your way to rewatch it because, God, is it violent. And it kicked off the show and it was so violent.
Okay.
Yeah, though. That's my 3 honorable mentions.
All right. Here is my number 5. What I would consider an unorthodox pick, and might surprise you a little bit. But we say all the time that we love in-ring wrestling. We're both sort of work rate marks, if you will.
Yeah.
But moments matter too.
Absolutely.
My number 5 is the 2022 Anarchy in the Arena.
Nothing wrong with that, dude. Yeah.
It was great.
Yep.
It's an improvement upon the other Anarchy in the Arenas.
It was a blast to watch.
And I think everyone sort of forgot the insane image of Eddie Kingston covered in blood walking down to the ring with gasoline ready to actually commit a murder.
And just dumping it all over Danielson and Jericho.
Yes.
Oh.
Wild
thing playing throughout like 3 loops. Oh my God.
It's a great match for the kind of gimmick match that it is, but it is full of those kind of moments. This was, and sadly, Eddie doesn't get necessarily the payoff with the Jericho thing in the way we all wanted it to be. But my number 5, Anarchy in the Arena, was done so well.
Sweet.
And for the moment of just scared, go look back at that picture. That is scarier than you remember. I promise you.
I remember Shivani on the call.
Yeah.
Being like, this man is insane.
Yes.
Like, he's an insane person. Yeah. Oh, so good, dude. Yeah. So, my number 5 is from Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor, July 23rd. This is the best 2 out of 3 falls match for the Ring of Honor tag titles. FTR versus the Briscoes.
Okay.
This is the 3rd in the trilogy, or the 2nd in the trilogy, least strongest in the trilogy.
It is the lesser of the 3, yes.
But God fucking damn it, is it like... Yes. Like, that's like saying, oh, man, this steak, it's fucking amazing, but I know there's better.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was incredible. FTR, just one of the matches that cemented their run this year. The Briscoes more than holding their own. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that as number 5.
Okay. Let me. I have my thing written here. I just, for whatever reason, forgot to write down. I have the date, but not what it was from.
You don't have to have the date. It's all good, man.
Well, I don't have what show it's from. I only have the date.
You don't even have to show, man. It's all good.
It is.
I over prep for this shit.
Okay, you'll know what it is. It is Tomohiro Ishii versus Tanahashi.
Yep. Okay.
From 5-1, I guess it was.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can track down the.
It wasn't Dominion.
No, let me see.
We'll be back after these messages.
Hold on, I'm getting there. Right here.
Was it Wrestling Don Taco?
It was.
Yeah,
It was
right on the tip of my tongue.
I went back and forth with this and Ishii, and I think this is better. I think this is better because, much like I was talking about Ishii on my top 5 wrestlers list, people also tend to think that Tana doesn't have it anymore. And both these old fuckers were like, fuck you, we're doing this.
So do you remember the story leading into this match?
No.
It was supposed to be Tana Osprey.
Okay.
And this is where Osprey got sick, where he had the kidney infection.
Right. Okay.
And they put this shit together in like 2 days.
Right. I love this match.
Yeah.
This is one of the keys to Ishii's being on my top 5 wrestlers of the year list. Him and Tana tear the fucking place down. Ishii never disappoints. Tana rarely, if ever, disappoints. I don't know that Tanahashi's ever disappointed his entire fucking life.
Never.
I love this match. This is what beat out. So I think the reason why Anarchy in the Arena got number 5 is because I needed an Eddie moment on my list. Mm-hmm. And it is great. And this is my Ishii moment. Ishii Tana, slightly better than Ishii Eddie. Not by much.
I do remember this match was a banger.
It's fucking amazing. Go back and watch it. I fucking love it. I love both these guys so much. And it was sort of a statement. Like, we still got it. Don't you worry about us old folks. Yeah. Well, 2 minutes in the match, the knees feel fine, and we're gonna fucking go.
Yeah.
So and Tana stepped a little out of his element. It was more of a sort of throwdown Ishii style for him too. So
it was.
That's my number 4.
I love that match. So I'm with you. My number 4 is from September 12th. The Just Tap Out Taka Taichi Despi Mania show. One of my favorite titled shows of the year. In the death match, El Desperado versus Jun Kasai. I have gone back and watched this a few times. Mm-hmm. This is a death match that I feel you could stomach even if you're not a death match person, because they do a crazy job of telling a story during this. Mm-hmm. Listen, it's fucking brutal. No doubt. The wrestling in the match, though, is very good. Mm-hmm. I love, the post-match promo afterwards where Jun Kasai, telling El Desperado, stop wanting to die. You need to fight to live. You should want to live, not die. Mm-hmm. That shit, weighed so fucking heavy. It was, this is why I love pro wrestling. You have the fucking crazy monkey and Desperado just bloody as fuck, mask ripped off, and they're it's such a weird, beautiful moment. Mm-hmm. He gives him the rose and he pressed for him after the first match and shit, and it's it's so fucking weird, and pro wrestling's so weird that this was such a beautiful thing. Yeah. So yeah, that's my number 4. Okay. This match definitely stuck with me throughout the year, since I saw it in September. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect a ton out of this, and then watched it and went, "Oh my god!" So yeah, that's my number 4.
Okay, my number 3 from New Japan Professional Wrestling. Ooh. From March 26th, 2002. From a random event in the middle of the New Japan Cup.
Okay.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shingo Takagi.
That was close to mine.
That match is incredible. A clash of styles. Yeah. Shingo still on a great run, a great heavyweight run. Sabre maintaining his ability and seemingly the New Japan Cup seems to be his thing.
It's his deal. Yeah.
It's when he comes out and shines the most. The finals he goes on against Naito, right?
Yeah.
It was Saber Naito in the finals. Him Shingo, match stealer of the tournament. Just a great thing. Go watch it. I love these guys. I love the match of styles. So
Zack Sabre Jr. might be the best styles clash wrestler.
He works really well with everybody.
And I love I'll never forget that match, him and Ishii, and that won the U.S. title tournament.
Yep.
One of the craziest fucking things.
Yeah.
I remember us just sitting there being like, I can't believe how good this is.
Yeah, incredible.
So my number 3, from Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, April 1st, I believe it was.
Okay.
FTR.
Matt Taven versus Rhett Titus.
Fuck off. All the way to death. Madison Square Taven. Ugh. FTR versus the Briscoes. Okay. This was the first match. I remember sitting on your couch that night and seeing Twitter kind of pop off. And we were like, all right, let's see what we got. And we watched it and we were all both just like, yeah, that was fucking it, man. That is fucking incredible.
For sure.
It started off I thought this was after watching this, I go, okay, this is my match of the year. There's no you can fucking top it.
Right.
It got topped, but I love this. I think that this established that these two teams had so much chemistry. They did my favorite spot to watch you cringe, the suplex off the apron to the floor during this. FTR got the win in the match. And I think that's when they won the Ring of Honor tag titles that night. So that really kind of kicked their year into gear on that. So that's my number 3.
All right. My number 2, early contender. What I felt was almost untouchable when I watched it. From Noah the New Year, January 1st of 2022, Go Shiozaki versus Nakajima. A match that got us so incredibly pumped for Noah that eventually just flittered away.
Not by us flittering it away.
No,
they flittered
it away. But this match is insane. We said for the longest time that Go Shiozaki is the best wrestler on the planet. This is one of the matches, the reason why Nakajima is a menace. We've been calling him that for a while.
Scary man.
And this match, the first of the year, I was like, nothing's going to beat this match. This is the best match. You cannot come close to this match. And it's my number 2.
Okay.
It's my number 2.
Kind of forgot about that match. It's so long ago, man.
Right.
It's almost a fucking year ago.
Well, and that's the hard thing about doing these lists is that it's sort of, what have you done for me lately? Because that's what's most prominent in your mind. Thankfully, I kept a very rudimentary list and was able to pick from this year. But
I tried, I tried the same, but so my number 2, and it might surprise you that this is my number 2.
Okay.
Ring of Honor Final Battle.
Okay.
December 10th. Double Dog Collar.
Wow, you're number 2.
This is my number 2. Briscoes FTR.
What the fuck could be your number 1?
I knew it. I was going to throw you for a loop with this shit.
Okay.
Briscoes FTR. Quintuple Blood.
Yeah.
It's
the ever elusive Quintuple Blood.
One of the best tag team wrestling matches I've ever seen. One of the best wrestling matches I feel I've ever seen. If you were to really break it down, I'd probably say this is my 1B.
Okay.
Really, it's my 1B. I fucking love every part of this.
Okay.
It's chaos. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Fucking Mark Briscoe getting yanked off the top rope on all the chairs on the outside is still one of the craziest visuals. So I'll say it's my 1B.
Okay. I like it. I'm very intrigued. My number 1. I cheated because it's my list, so fuck you. Not you, but anybody. FTR versus Briscoe's trilogy. I wanted to sort of spread the love a little more in the top 5. So, and for whatever reason, my brain didn't think we'll just do honorable mentions like you did. So
it's all good, man.
So I cheated. I think because I don't know that you could separate these matches I think they tell a larger wrestling story.
You're 100% right about that. Yep.
I think they're all important to each other. I think your order is dead on. That second one is the lesser one.
Yeah.
And that third one's the best.
Yeah.
The double dog collar was fucking insane.
Yep.
The elusive quintuple blood. If I had only picked one, that would be the number one. That match is fucking crazy. But the story they told over this year, that we got these 3 matches that in January seemed improbable.
Yeah. Really, the first match was April 1st. The last match was December 10th.
Yeah. It is a story, and we talk Flair Steamboat and their series and all that sort of stuff throughout wrestling history. There's always these series, and a lot of times they're spread out. Sometimes they're not. AEW likes to do these series of matches, so on and so forth. But I think that this is an overarching year-long story. While I would love to see these guys wrestle each other forever, I don't think you ever need to do it again.
That's so funny you say that, because I feel the same fucking way.
Yeah.
But this is something you could always go back to. I think
if
you and I were,
I'm going to pay for it.
Like you and I were talking like later that night, and it's like ladder match,
right?
Cage match,
right?
Because there's still shit you can do.
I would love for them.
I don't want them to.
Right. If say you're going to do it in Philly so I can come see it.
Oh my God.
But like
lose my
Jersey
mind.
or New York or wherever, just give me like under 5-hour driving time.
Yeah.
But I think this story, the year, the trilogy is a remarkable piece of wrestling. It is a shame, but the right decision that the Briscoes are persona non grata on regular TV. I completely fucking get it.
As we've said, listen, not our fight.
Right, exactly. Not great people. They've redeemed themselves. There's a story of redemption there. There's a conversation about forgiveness and moving on that maybe it's not my place to have.
Yeah.
But these matches have been incredible.
Yep.
Some of the best work anybody has put out. And worth the price of admission. And while I don't want them to have them do it again, I will happily lay down my money to watch it.
Selfishly, I want to see more.
Right. But that's my number one. Let me just guess really quick at your number one. I'm pretty sure, thinking about it here, it just came to me, the light bulb. I don't know if you saw the light bulb go off. I'm pretty sure it's Eddie Kingston versus Marufuji from House of Glory. Oh, no. Sorry. That's the number one match that pissed you off the most. Sorry.
You're right.
My bad.
No, you're right about
Wrong
that.
list.
Now I wish I had that category. Most things that pissed me off this year. House of Glory. I paid for that card. We almost drove. I would have burned that building to the fucking ground that night if I drove a couple hours to see Kingston versus Marufuji for 7 minutes. Motherfuckers. Dude, they just had Kenta there. Dude, I fucking love Kenta.
Kenta's in GCW, too.
Do you know how much No, he wrestled CZW.
CZW, what
Do you know how fucking badly I wanted to go see Kenta?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You don't get my money ever again.
Oh, there you go.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Is that Booker's T?
No.
Oh, that's Master P.
No, no, I don't know. Maybe it is Master P. Hootie hoo, I'm a no limit soldier for life, but like, fuck that, man. Nah, damn it. Now I wish that was another category. All right, so my 1A from August 18th. G1 Climax 32 final.
It is Master P, sorry.
Good.
Yeah.
Kazuchika Okada versus Will Ospreay.
Okay.
I love the G1.
Yeah.
I think it's my favorite time of the year of wrestling. G1 this year had what was it, 4 blocks? Fucking crazy. Yeah. I love the story between these two that's brewing still. Ospreay can't beat Okada. Ospreay turned on Okada, but he can't beat him. And in this match, still, Ospreay cannot beat Okada. Ospreay busts out a V-trigger. He goes for a one-winged angel. He hits a Styles Clash. And the story was that he was trying anything of guys that have beat Okada. And he can't get it done. He still can't fucking get it done. Okada wins with a couple Rainmakers. It was a special moment, I thought, in Japan. The crowd was just like, fuck this, we're making noise.
Right.
And they were going crazy for this. Okada, again, not that he needed to cement his legacy as like being one of the greatest of all time.
Sure.
But winning the G1 again, continuing that story with Ospreay, sorry kid, you still can't beat me. I loved it. And I went back and I actually watched it again this week because I was like, okay, is this really like my number one, my 1A?
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it and I go, yeah, it is.
Okay.
It definitely is. It's a special match, and I feel like more people need to show it some love.
Okay.
I feel like it's like a forgotten classic almost. Yeah. It felt like I remember when it happened being like, damn, that's a G1 final.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a fucking G1 final should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back again, and it's a G1 final, man.
I remember the match. It is very good. Arguably, I think the best Ospreay's ever been.
Yeah.
But as him not even considered for my list, he is. I think we're a good microcosm of professional wrestling. He is a polarizing fucking professional wrestler.
Very polarizing.
And I think that even when he has a really good match, and he does have them very often.
Yep.
It's not the style that I like or whatever. He has them very often. I think it drops out of the sort of minds of a lot of people because he is such a polarizing individual.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all right. I should have seen that one coming. An Okada match as your number one is never the wrong pick, right?
No,
I mean,
never.
That's just what that guy does.
Yeah, dude. He's the fucking man.
Absolutely.
And, I loved it, man.
Yeah.
And it made me very happy to watch that again and be like, yeah, that's it. It like reaffirmed it for me. So
good.
So yeah, dude, that was 2022.
That's it.
Another year down.
Another year
Fucking
above ground,
crazy,
brother.
Man. Oh God, barely. How the fuck we're still going? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
We're still riding, brother.
By we're, you mean the world?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I mean.
2023,
2022, great year in wrestling.
Yes.
Return a bit to normalcy.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
2021 was still a little touch and go here.
Wrestle Kingdom in a couple days with live cheering is going to be really fun.
You're going to feel it.
Yeah.
You're going to fucking feel it.
The wrestlers are going to feel it too.
I like watched an interview with Okada and Tanahashi talking about Forbidden Door and just saying how fucking good it felt to be in front of a cheering crowd again.
Right.
And with them allowed to cheer again on Wrestle Kingdom, it's going to be, Omega's return. That's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. It's gonna be a fun kickoff to the year, that's for sure. Nakamura wrestling Muda on the first, like
super weird,
fucking crazy. I'm excited though, dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good time.
It is. I'm excited to see what comes our way. I'm gonna assume at least 2, if not more, AEW shows.
Yeah, we'll see.
I imagine we'll get a pay-per-view and a couple Dynamites again, or a Rampage, or what have you.
More LVAC.
Well, we'll see what else is floating around.
As long as we're not dying.
Right.
But
that's it.
That's all. Did you buy anything?
Did I buy anything? No, it's not all, though, because we have the gift exchange.
And we do have a belated gift exchange.
Oh, the belated gift exchange.
Well, I didn't buy anything.
No, I didn't buy anything either. Right, cool. I don't think.
Cool.
That's right, the gift exchange. Belated, because we haven't been together in a few weeks.
No, we have not. I've been sick. The weather's been gross.
I can tell by the bag that is in front of me and the tiny box that I put in front of you that you have outdone me.
You don't know that.
This year?
You don't know that.
We'll see. I'm very nervous that the thing I got you already have, but I don't think you do.
Okay.
Well, but we shall see.
If I have it, do you want me to sell it?
Like,
my God, like sell it that way? Not actually physically sell it.
That's up to you, pal. If you do have it, I'll find something else and we'll discuss later on down the line. But
okay, well, does that mean I need to open mine first?
It does not matter. However you want to do, you are finagling with all kinds of things over there.
Okay,
so
all right.
Something
of yours is very cheap.
Okay.
I'm finding.
It doesn't matter who goes first. If you want to go first, you can go right ahead.
All right, I'll go first.
Go ahead. All right. I'm very excited. God, I hope you don't have it.
Should I close my eyes?
You don't have to close your eyes.
I'm closing my eyes.
Okay.
Am I ripping anything I shouldn't be ripping?
Well, you can just feel the box. Just rip the paper.
Feel your box. It's a box of some sort.
Yes.
I'm going to open my eyes. Ooh, what is this? Oh, I don't have this. Oh. fuck yeah, dude. I don't have
No.
this at all.
Okay.
Oh.
I wasn't sure if you ever went down the NECA route.
No, dude, you just created a monster.
I know I did.
Brother.
Wrestling figures are very hard to buy for you because we both buy what we want. Which is why I asked for a picture of your collection.
Dude.
And I went in.
So I can actually describe it
go
here.
ahead.
So this is made by NECA. This is a Halloween 2 2-pack, which is my personal favorite Halloween.
Which is why I picked it.
Of Michael Myers and Loomis.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking dude, it's so cool. It even has the Michael Myers bloody fucking eye face.
Right. So so look at the back.
Loomis comes with real guns.
Right, look at the back. It's the on fire.
Oh my god.
And Loomis has an
you could put him on fire?
Yes. And Loomis has the extra set of arms so you could take the trench coat off so he's just in the suit.
Oh man, Loomis even has the lighter hand.
Uh-huh.
Dude, this kicks every single ass.
So
I'm so fucking pumped. You just, brother, you don't know what you just did.
I know I did.
Oh, thank you so much, dude.
I know that's your favorite Halloween.
It is my favorite Halloween.
There is a pack of it that's Loomis and Lori, but it's all soft goods.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
No, man, this is where it's at.
But these look incredible.
Dude, it even has like the fucking pumpkin with the skull.
Yep.
Oh my.
Yeah, it is such a cool Halloween 2, like a couple different moments, the bloody eyes, the on fire.
Fuck, man.
So,
dude, look at the syringes, the scalpel, the fucking hand. Oh my god. I want to go home and watch this right now.
Yeah.
This is the coolest shit, man.
I didn't think you went down the NECA route.
Nope, and look what you're going to do.
I think
look what you're doing to me.
Right, I know. Well, you do have the Thing one. I think NECA made that, right?
They did, yes.
And that was close because there is a Kurt Russell.
You know, I almost bought that a couple weeks ago.
That's really cool too. But this, knowing Halloween 2 is your favorite,
it's my favorite
and
fucking
this
Halloween
is such
movie.
a cool 2-pack.
Yeah, dude, NECA doesn't miss.
They
brother.
don't, man. They do really good shit.
Oh, this is fucking scary
for sure.
You're the fucking man. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you like it, dude.
Oh, I fucking love it. Are you kidding me?
It's super fucking rad,
dude.
So,
son of a bitch. I need more. I need fucking more. I almost bought fucking Jason from Jason Lives.
Yeah,
because NECA makes that. This is my fucking favorite Halloween movie.
I'll happily tell you to stay away from Monster Toys because they have everything.
Is this where you went for this? Oh, you son of a bitch!
Yeah, up in Dixon.
All right. Well, look at you shopping small business. I
buddy.
like it.
So,
all right, man. This fucking rules so much. Oh
all
man, now I feel like my gift isn't going to live up to yours.
All right, am I going in here first?
Yeah, it's a plethora of things for you.
Whoa.
You have many things here.
Whoa, it's a lot of things.
It's a lot of things.
Wow. All right.
So,
let me put it on the floor.
If you want to do one by one, you can.
All right.
So, if you remember, the night that I was sick in the hospital, I sent you. I was like, "Hey, man, look at these fucking books, man."
Yeah.
Then you're like, "Oh, those are really cool." And I'm like, "Fuck, there it is." All right. So they're by I believe they're by Jonathan Foy. They are your favorite era of professional wrestling.
Yeah,
is All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Right, absolutely.
So the first book looks a look at like the exodus of All Japan.
Ganbaru, how All Japan Pro Wrestling survived the year 2000 roster split, forwarded by Fumi Sato.
Yes.
That's cool.
And then the second book is...
Eddie Kingston's quoted on the back.
Yeah, what's his quote?
I enjoyed it and learned some stuff.
Yeah.
Like a kid writing a book.
Exactly, yeah.
That art's really nice on it, too. That's really cool.
So the second one is the Muto Years.
The Muto Years.
So this was also written by Jonathan Foy.
Yes.
He's a small-time artist, or small-time author.
Yeah, it's like self-published or whatever.
Yes. So...
Oh, that's awesome.
This was about, like, kind of like the follow-up piece to the Ganbaru book.
Yeah, 2002 to 2011, it says on the back.
Yeah. So, these are the only two he's written so far.
Yeah.
I have them on my radar.
Oh, my God. These look awesome. Dude.
Yes.
I love, again, we've talked about it on the show, but, All Japan's my favorite. I'm fascinated by the circumstances of the Exodus and Noah.
Yep.
Noah very much carried on the tradition of All Japan. Like, it lost it then. But also, Muto is your favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
My favorite Muto is this era.
Exactly.
Where he comes into All Japan as an old man and just reinvents himself, creates arguably the most stolen professional wrestling move in the Shining Wizard, at least of the 2000s. And like really carries that company. And Tenru's on the cover.
Yep.
Because Tenru at this time is also having his "I'm 53, I'm going to murder you" years.
Exactly.
Quada, the only one who doesn't leave, and he's pissed off about it. And then Koji and is it Takia?
I don't know.
The blonde guy there? I'm not
No,
sure.
I don't remember.
It could be. These look awesome, man. That's incredible.
Yes. So, and I remember,
Very
a conversation we had January 1st last year was about like the exodus from All Japan and stuff. And
it's hard to find anything over here because people just don't know that shit.
Exactly. So I was like, I thought those two books were pretty cool.
That's awesome. I love the art on these two. These are incredible.
Yeah. And that was another thing why I figured you'd like it as well.
That's rad. All right.
Now you have more.
Jeez. Okay. Hold on. Crap.
So the next three things are all companion pieces.
Oh my God, what are you doing to me here?
So these are all J-crowned.
An illustrated guide to the champ. What?
Yeah. So this is done by Matt Charlton.
Okay.
Matt Charlton is Chris Charlton's brother. Chris Charlton, the English commentator for New Japan.
Yeah.
So he did 3 of these books.
Whoa.
I thought the illustrations were pretty dope.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And it goes through the history of championships in Japanese wrestling.
Oh, these are so cool.
The one cover got a little fucked up, which
fine.
I felt bad about.
Whatever. Dirt and cookies. It's good.
Yeah, dirt and cookies. Exactly.
Oh,
so
these are wow.
Yeah.
And there's that many Dragon Kid. Oh, Quack and Push.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. These look at that Ultimo.
Yep.
Oh man.
And so Matt Charlton did all the illustrations himself as well.
That's awesome. So
which I thought was really cool.
So what? Yeah. So it's everybody.
Oh
wow.
It's everyone. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
With like who they lost to and everything.
Exactly. It's like complete histories of like titles and stuff.
Blue Demon and shit.
Blue Demon and shit, brother.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
I am gonna be a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, and that's like, hey man, I know
these are incredible.
You're more of a reader than I am,
well,
but
sure.
I thought that they were pretty dope.
Yeah.
So
I wonder, like, what do they end chronology? Like, what is?
I don't remember.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
I know the big book, the bottom one, the J Crown edition, is like the last one he put out.
Yeah.
I think the one you're holding might be the first edition.
Yeah, this is
it's volume 1.
So it has Suzuki, Nakajima, Morishima.
Yeah.
1, 2. Oh, okay. So this is the GHC heavyweight.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. And there's some classic matches in here. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So
and then you got
5 books.
You got one more thing at the bottom.
All right. One more thing.
So this is an official program from the 1995 All Japan World Tag League.
Whoa!
So
holy crap, dude! No, you definitely beat me. I got you one thing. You definitely whooped my ass.
Hey man, I try.
This is crazy.
So found somebody like selling a bunch, and I was
RVD.
like, yeah, and I was like, 95 All Japan's like kind of sweet spot, you know?
For sure.
So it's the official program for the whole tour. Wow. It got a little bent, which I was bummed about.
That old fucker.
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
Dory.
Brother. Hell yeah, Dory.
How's Dory teaming up on this thing?
I forget. Some of it's like in color, some of it's not.
Oh, Holy Demon Army.
Yeah. But God. I was like, okay, that's like an official piece of like All Japan.
Yeah,
like,
man.
You know.
That's rad.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hold on. All right, let's see. Let's see who look at all the Stan Hansen art.
Yeah.
Fan art in the front. Whoa.
There's a lot of cool shit.
Jumbo, Old Man Jumbo. Wish I knew Japanese. All right, so we're looking at Furnace and Crawford, or Furnace and LaFon, depending on what era of gentlemen. The Patriot and Johnny Ace.
Hell yeah.
Johnny Ace
brother.
Is a bag of shit. It's Fucci. It's Dory Funk Jr. and Fucci. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking Fucci. Baba and Timon Honda, who later goes on the Exodus and wins the tag titles with Kobashi. Hansen and Albright. That is a... Oh boy.
Beef on the hoof.
Yeah, that is. That's men.
Yeah. Big meaty men.
Johnny Smith and Rob Van Dam.
Uh-huh. Hell yeah.
Abdul the Butcher and Giant Kimura.
Yes.
I think it's Kamala 2.
I believe so.
Yeah, I don't think that's Sugar Bear.
No.
Holy Demon Army.
Yep.
One of the best tag teams to ever exist. And Jun Akiyama, Team No Fear.
Yep.
Probably before they were called Team No Fear.
Yeah.
Akiyama and Amori. Amori in the leopard print tights.
Oh, hell yeah. Wear the leopard panties.
That's hilarious. And then, Misawa and Kobashi.
Hell yeah, dude.
Super Generation Army.
Yes.
That's crazy. And Baba in the back. So my brain doesn't work. Who wins it? Do we know?
I forget. I looked it up, but I
Where
forgot.
did my phone go? Dude, yeah, you killed it. You outdid yourself for goddamn sure.
Well, sir.
Hold on, what is this? Real World Tag League.
I believe it's from 95.
Real World Tag League, not Real World MTV.
I was going to get you the companion Blu-ray set, but I was like, you probably already have it.
Let's see. Strongest Determination Tag League. Results. 1995. The third and final year in a row that Kobashi and Misawa
There you go.
won together. They
Perfect.
won 94. They won 93, 94, and 95.
Perfect.
Misawa had also won 92, but with Kawada.
Yeah.
Perfect. That is awesome, dude.
Well,
I'm super pumped.
we're not done.
We're not done.
So I'm happy you said something.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, my wrist is still
All right.
messed up.
So I'm happy that you said that you like something.
Yes.
Because
I like everything. I'm
um,
so excited.
I
Michelle's
went on-
going to hate me for reading
I went
nothing
on
about
a
Japanese
bit
wrestling.
of a hunt to locate this down.
Okay.
They're very shitty frames, so if you want actual
That's fine.
frames.
Yeah, whatever.
So here is the artwork print
Oh, man.
of the
Wow,
Ganabaru
the cover
book.
of the book.
Yeah.
Oh, then this art is so good. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
anime style.
I knew
but-
like you would like the art.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So there's
Yeah.
that one.
That's so cool.
And
That's
then
rad.
yeah,
You definitely went overboard, pal.
and then we were talking about
I got 3 other things in the room. I just forgot to grab them.
There's also this one.
Whoa!
It's a print of 90s
That's
All Japan
crazy.
Women's.
It's by the same dude.
Same dude.
Oh
So,
my god!
Victory
Through guts.
I was supposed to come up last Thursday, but because I was sick and
Yeah.
shit. These were coming from the UK.
Okay.
The artist, his name is Mushikawa, I believe it is.
Okay.
I had to I hunted down the books
Yeah.
that he did the art for. I hunted down his website because I'm like, oh man, I really hope that they do prints or something like
Yeah.
this. Thankfully, he did prints.
Oh my god, they're awesome. Dude.
Yes. So there is one more, but I
Okay.
kept it for myself.
Okay.
It's New Japan,
Nice.
and it's grade 1.
Oh
But
yeah, that's cool.
because I bought them as a
Yeah.
pack, but I was like, oh, these are really cool. I
Oh
kind
my
of just want this
God.
one. And I was like, all right, he gets the 2. He'll be
Yeah.
fucking pumped
Oh,
about
dude,
that.
you're way shit.
So,
Wow. So
Merry
so
Christmas,
this,
pal.
Hey, dude, this is you outdid yourself. This is fucking amazing. This is so Manamo Toyota
Yep.
on the front, Aja Kong, Bull Nakano, Hakuto in her
Yeah.
like samurai mask
Yep.
gear,
Yeah.
and then a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
Megumi Kudo, maybe.
Yep.
This art's really awesome. We'll have to post it through the account.
Yeah. I
because-
thought the art was super fucking cool.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, dude, like, let's make this
Yeah.
fucking happen.
You like so like, I was like, I'm gonna buy Brett a horror figure because wrestling is too hard because he buys everything.
Dude, I
And
fucking love
then,
this,
and then,
man.
And then you're just like, oh no, I'm gonna go completely out of the box and buy the coolest wrestling shit I could possibly
Dude,
buy. So,
well, and I know it, like you said, buying figures for each other is tough,
right?
Because we basically
Right.
whatever we want, we just fucking buy it,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
But that's why I was like, you know what, dude? There's just a couple fucking things that I think are pretty cool,
Yeah, they're
up your
awesome.
alley.
Absolutely.
You know, when it comes to like the books and art and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, having a piece of All Japan Pro Wrestling like a program, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, books
I
about
always
All
look at that
Japan.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, so
For
I
sure.
thought it was pretty dope. I like the art
Yeah.
prints a lot. Again,
Oh my God.
they're cheap fucking frames,
Yeah,
you know.
that's
But
fine.
yeah,
dude,
man.
you crushed. This is incredible.
Hey, brother.
Yeah, man, these are awesome. I can't wait to read them.
Yeah,
I hope he does more. I hope he gets good. I hope this dude does.
I
Goes back
I follow him and I've been in
Yeah.
contact with him.
That's cool.
I've been talking to him through DMs on
the
Twitter.
writer guy?
Yeah,
Okay, John
he's actually
Floyd.
over in Japan right now. I went to the All Japan Christmas show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you
So
know,
like he's connected. He knows.
he know
I mean,
he know.
Fumi Sato is like the guy.
Yeah, but
That's
he
the dude who has all the pictures with all the gaijins and all that stuff.
Fumi Sato. He was also on the episode of Taka's Jericho, the Inoki tribute.
Okay,
It was him,
Yeah.
Dave, and Jericho.
that's cool.
So very knowledgeable people, I thought.
Yeah,
You know, I thought those books were really fucking cool. Again, All Japan, that's your shit.
yeah.
You know, so Again, I tried to think a little bit outside the box.
God, you crushed it, dude.
So yeah, dude, Mary.
All I had to do was deal with the fucking asshole that runs Monster.
Fuck, man, this is sick. Are you kidding me? Dude, I fucking love Halloween too.
Yeah.
It's my favorite fucking Halloween movie.
Oh, good.
I'm pumped, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude.
Off air, I'll tell you about the fucking dude.
That's good.
But whatever. But yeah, you fucking killed it, man.
Hey, brother. We try.
Oh my god. I can't. My favorite thing about this, and this is a long ass show, is that I can't wait to read them all, and then
just recite them to Michelle.
That's going to happen. She's going to hate it. But no, as I say, and then cross reference all the information here with Adam.
Well, he already Adam recommended me the books.
Yeah, right.
He put me in the right direction.
Right. He wrote a foreword, but they said it was too good.
Yeah, too good. Didn't want to overshadow the whole book.
Yeah,
understood. I get it.
We get it. Dude, you crushed it. This is awesome,
brother.
Merry Christmas, pal.
Merry Christmas. Merry belated.
We've been doing this show for a while.
Yeah, dude.
And I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
Oh, absolutely not, man.
So
it's my favorite fucking thing. I literally look forward to this every week.
It's been so much fun.
Yeah,
and
dude.
We ain't stopping anytime soon.
No.
And this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
And
live gift exchange is dope.
We're gonna post pictures and I'll put them up on social media so everyone can see how much of a chump you made me look like.
Oh, come on, dude. Dude, the fucking NWO Simpsons picture, that I look at it every day.
Yeah.
That we got me last year. Every fucking day I look at it. It's the coolest shit.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, you know what, man?
Good.
Think outside the box, brother.
I love so much of this shit. Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
And part of me did want to be an enabler and get you in an even worse habit for Nekatoys.
We're good, brother.
So let's.
This is fucking terrifying, but I'm so pumped about this because
have you been in Monstar Toys yet?
No, I haven't.
We're gonna have to go up.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we will.
No, man.
Yeah, we will.
You're gonna make me spend my money.
We'll go up because you got to see.
All right,
he's got a lot. But
twist in my arm, brother.
But all right. Yeah. Let's get the hell out of here.
I love the art on this too.
Yeah, everything's about it super cool, man.
Yeah.
Makes Halloween 2 look like it's a good movie. I'm kidding. It's a good movie.
Fuck you, dude. Oh, shit was about to get real for a second. You kidding me?
I'm only fucking with you. It is very good.
You motherfucker.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking with us for the last 3 years and for our big year-end spectacular. We'll be back next week with Japanese wrestling out the wazoo, so prepare yourselves. If you need to find a way to watch Wrestle Kingdom or need help,
at your boys, please.
We'll give you recommendations or any of that kind of stuff. But
I may or may not have January 4th off, just so I can watch it.
But we will be back next week with more wrestling. Until then, you can find us at WeNeedWrestling.com, at WeNeedWrestling on Twitter, Instagram, and Hive.
Who knows where?
Forever. Who knows? If there's a place, we're on it, I guess, kind of. Spotify, Apple, the Pod Chaser, I don't know, whatever all that shit is. We're also a part of the soon-to-be-named network at STBN Network on Twitter, soon-to-be-named-network.com, soon-to-be-named-network.tumblr.com. All of our friends are there. At Odds with Wrestling, Longbox Heroes After Dark, Final Wrestling Place, Hit My Music, Puzzle Warriors 3, the Helmet Podcast that is over, but you can still find it. Joe and Todd at Odds just did a great interview with Mark Pirro after watching all their movies. And they are doing some cool stuff. If you're into comics, they're reading Sandman about 2 issues a week for the next year. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to be reading along with them.
Sick.
Personally, I'm not going to be involved in the show, but I've never read Sandman.
Oh, okay.
And I've always wanted to, and I have them all. So I'm going to read along with those guys.
Good as time as ever.
Gives me a reason.
Absolutely.
They're also going to be watching weird comedy movies, I guess, on their Patreon.
I'm into it.
Check all that out. And our other show, Wings on Wings. There was just a Michelle and I episode this week because of life.
Sorry,
but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It was a fun to sit down with her, just me and her, and talk a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'll be back with those every Tuesday, and we'll be back next week here. Until then, watch some wrestling, go buy some snacks, and gear up for Wrestle Kingdom.
Can't wait, man.
It's the best time of the year, and also because we're in Royal Rumble season.
Oh, we're kicking off, huh?
Maybe a little news on a couple watch lists we're going to be doing with a special guest. So
more on that later.
Yeah, but that's it.
Well, here's to I don't know, health, wealth, and growth of self. 2023, let's get that shit.
Another year above ground.
Yeah, brother.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds!